dwarf goblins.
All right, so we got about 80 of you all over on Twitch, 23 of you all over on YouTube. Okay. So, yeah, everybody say hi to YouTube. I have just received what I have damn good reason to believe is OGL 1.1. This version of it does not appear to be what I guess we would see in like an official release. Let's get over here. I don't know that this is going to be what we would receive in an official release. Sensitive information has been stripped from it, and anything that's identifying it, according to my source, has been removed. Get some coffee. This is a bit of a long one, all right? So, we're just going to get right into it. Open Game License 1.1 Intro. Dungeons & Dragons, D&D, is all about creativity, both yours and ours. Throughout the nearly 50 years since the first release of D&D, Wizards of the Coast and its predecessor TSR have encouraged people to build new campaigns and material on the foundation of the Dungeons & Dragons base game. Historically, we have allowed fans, through our open game license, to make and sell commercial content using our intellectual property via the system's reference document. This practice has continued for more than 20 years, and we continue to support it today. A lot has changed over the last half century, including the rise of internet apps, Web3, and even virtual TTRPGs. Now in 2023, we are updating the Open Game License to address some of these new realities and fix some of the loopholes and contradictions that made their way into the Open Game License during the time since its first release. One aspect of that is dividing the old Open Game License into two pieces. First, a license covering non-commercial uses of SRD content, OGL non-commercial, and second, a license that applies to commercial uses of SRD content, OGL commercial. The OGL non-commercial and OGL commercial together make up the updated OGL. This revised license is intended to protect the D&D brand by reducing creator confusion, preventing bad actors from tarnishing it, and preventing large businesses from profiting off it without proper checks and balances. The actual license is available through the hyperlinks below, and if you're comfortable with legalese or somehow actually enjoy reading legalese, feel free to jump ahead to those links. We've included explanations and examples alongside the legal language to help make the OGL easier to understand and comply with. You can get to those comments by clicking the link after each section. If, on the other hand, you would like to start with a in plain language of how the OGL works, you can start here with the FAQ section. In addition to that, we have included a set of comments in the license itself that accompany the legal language and provide explanations and examples to help make the license easier to understand and comply with. You can get to those comments by clicking the link after each section. Below are a few FAQs about the new license and its parts. So what is non-commercial use of SRD content, if no money or anything else of value? I think we may have gotten into a new section here. A few FAQs. Yeah. So sorry, one sec. Let me get this pulled up over here. Okay, there we go. All right, so what is non-commercial use of SRD content? Is changing hands to get access to the things you create using SRD content. That's not, wait. If no money is changing hands, okay, sorry, the formatting was throwing me off. What is non-commercial use of SRD content? If no money or anything else of value is changing hands to get access to the things you create using SRD content, that's non-commercial use and is covered by and subject to the terms of the OGL non-commercial. If any form of payment or income or access to your work is involved or is specific to a particular work, even if it's just $1, it's covered by the OGL commercial license. To be clear, crowdfunding a new project is commercial use. Let's get that highlighted. Okay. They're going after Patreon. We'll see. Accepting subscriptions or membership fees or Patreon patrons as a condition of accessing your work is commercial. Now, one thing that I'm curious about, and this is something that I heard other creators are doing as a means of kind of getting around this, is that they are releasing their work on Patreon as a free version so you can access all the stuff that's required by the OGL, right? You can access things that are in the SRD. You release it on Patreon as a free version, and then you have a separate version for your Patreon sponsors that like maybe has some more updated art. Like this is just a bit more like high quality, like oomph to it, right? That other version, because you've released a version of it that is free and other people can access it. Next paragraph. Commercial. Accepting voluntary donations via any tipping mechanism or sites where you're providing your content for free regardless of the donations. Wait. I should keep reading. Okay. Accepting voluntary donations via any tipping mechanism or sites where you're providing your content for free regardless of those donations / tips is not. Wait, hang on. Is not commercial use? If you're giving your work away for free on Patreon or otherwise and asking people to support your work. Okay, so it's the same thing, right? So this is the kind of thing. If you give them access to it and they don't have to pay for it, and yet you're maybe making like a premium version of it, right? That seems okay. You believe all versions must be freely accessible? Okay. I wonder realistically how many people they're catching up in that. It looks like to me that is like a real specific niche of like maybe 3 creators I know of. I don't think that that's okay. So accepting subscriptions or membership fees or Patreon patrons as a condition of accessing your work is commercial. Okay. Accepting voluntary donations via any tipping mechanism or sites where you're providing your content for free, regardless of those donations / tips, is not. If you're giving away your work for free on Patreon or otherwise and asking people to support your work if they enjoy it, that's not commercial. But your work must be given without strings attached if it's to be considered non-commercial. Work must be given without strings attached. So you're giving it away somewhere else for free, yet you are accepting support on Patreon, then yeah, premium version is commercial. Okay. Oh, okay. So that covers like I said, a kind of a fringe. I guess it's fine that they're clearing that up. Yeah. If you give a free version without art and a paid version with art, you only pay for the art. Well, well, and that's not on WotC. I got this with information stripped out that may be sensitive. Art premium version is commercial. So even if the mechanics that you've released are covered under non-commercial and you release a version of it that just has pretty artwork, good layout, whatever, and you decided to do that to your Patreon sponsors, like, here's the thing. This is a thing that I do with Dungeon Dad. So Josiah hires me to do layout on a thing that he wrote for the game, right? So this may apply in that situation. Still has SRD rules, so it seems like it's still commercial. Okay. So that sounds like that might be catching that up, in which case that does affect some more people than what I was thinking. Is it as bad as the leaks? We have only hit the first page. But they are now definitely coming after Patreons. So seems to be targeting I'll just say that this seems to be targeting a standard way many creators have been making quote-unquote premium versions of content. I'm going to say this seems to be targeting let's say this seems to be fixing a loophole, which allowed many creators to make premium versions of content available exclusively to Patreon sponsors. So immediately going after a lot of guys, I that actually affects a lot more people than what I was thinking. This is basically what I do for like Ross and Josiah Dungeon Dad. We're gonna have to figure something out with that. Destroy instead of fix. I mean, it doesn't seem like it's super necessary for them to be going after people like that. Like, I can think about that ethically all day long and just try whatever. What I want to see here is where's the scary shit? Yeah, here we go. Here's where the numbers are getting discussed. Okay, are you understanding that they seem to be? Am I understanding that they seem to be going after almost everyone? That paragraph is very confusing. What I'm saying right here is, like, if you are homebrewing by any means and you are putting your work behind a paywall of any kind, they seem to be trying to clean up loopholes that have allowed people to monetize it and restrict access to it, such as this one loophole that we all knew about of you release the Monster of the Week series guy. Yes. There was a loophole where you weren't technically like in violation of the fan content policy. So the fan content policy was like, as long as you weren't making money off of it, like you weren't restricting access to it, you could make money off of the thing through paywall or through Patreon. So what people were doing is saying, oh, well, it's fan content policy. The content that was relying on whatever a Wizard's IP is available for free. I just dressed it up as a premium version for my Patreon sponsors. This isn't like some industry trade secret or anything. This is what content creators have been doing. If you look at Dungeon Dad, this is what he advertises at the end of all of his videos. It's the thing he hired me on for last summer that we've been doing, all the way up until now. So he is for sure going to be one of the first people I hit up tomorrow to discuss what we're going to do moving forward. That's a little rough. It was Laser Llama's emote. I thought originally that this was not going to affect a whole lot of people. That actually hits. That hits a lot of folks that have Patreons. Everybody that's watching this right now, that's a content creator. If you have a Patreon and this is something that you've been doing, we're gonna have to start to discuss strategies to do this. Otherwise, and there's another Discord channel I want to share the stream in real quick. Let me get this copied over. This is going to be kind of a crazy news day. So always remember, people, as we're getting involved with this, if you feel yourself getting... if you feel yourself becoming anxious, if you feel yourself kind of getting a little bit too doomer on this, please disengage. Watch out for your mental health, okay? I know a lot of people have been... a lot of people have been expressing to me that are in my community that this news has been pretty upsetting to them. So please just take a moment to consider yourself here for a second. This is definitely a change in the industry. If you are feeling upset, the best thing that you can do right now is go to the website that Maychan Press created, sign that open letter, and then kind of chill, listen to your favorite album, all that good business. Yeah. I know that I have vocalized that I've been pretty pissed about all this. It's because WotC's fucking with money I plan on bringing in, you know. I'm really interested to see what they intend on doing with YouTubers, because we are making money over here that isn't from stuff that we are selling necessarily. This is going to mess with the Vanguard. Unless I see a clause in here about stuff retroactively apply or whatever, if they're trying to revoke OGL 1.0a, that could mess with the Vanguard and the Sovereign, and that's what I'm kind of looking out for right now. Okay. We have only made it past the first page, so hang on. I'm getting a recommendation of skipping ahead to the termination clause. I have already read that before. Is it the bad stuff? Because this is all kind of confirming. And sorry, you guys, this is super impromptu. I just literally got sent this not 20 minutes ago. So I'm trying to figure out what do we need to cover priority right now. On termination of this agreement. Okay, so you said page 8? Page 8 is where the T really starts. Because I remember, this is the shit I got sent right here. Yep, 8, termination. Okay. We could go through the whole thing, but yeah, I'm getting recommended that I need to skip ahead to this for right now. Okay. Sounds like D&D YouTubers are just fucked. We don't know. Well, hang on. It's Patreon. Patreon is looking not super great if you have made like stuff that relies on game mechanic. Now, termination. This agreement may be modified or terminated. I'm just getting recommended to skip ahead to this right now. Okay. So the other stuff that's up above this, we may assume is like a bunch of, well, this is the money that you owe us on this, whatever. Termination clause. This is the thing that apparently has a lot of people up in arms right now. So let's get to the spot that is apparently the big like nuke. Termination. This agreement may be modified or terminated. Modification. This agreement is, along with the OGL commercial, an update to the previously available OGL 1.0a, which is no longer an authorized license agreement. This is all wording we all remember. I need to highlight the whole thing. We can modify or terminate this agreement for any reason whatsoever, provided we give 30 days notice. We will provide notice of any such changes by posting the revisions on our website and by making public announcements of the changes through our social media channels. B. Termination. 1. We may terminate the agreement immediately if A. You infringe upon or misuse any of our intellectual property, violate any law in relation to your activities under this agreement, or if we determine in our sole discretion that you have violated Section 8G or 8H. To be clear, we have the sole right to decide what conduct violates Section G. Oh man, I'm having a hard time reading this right now. Sorry, I just got off of an 8-hour stream, so yeah. So, hang on, sorry, let me get some water. I know, I just got off like a big 8-hour design stream, so I'm tired and my throat's definitely a little bit scratchy. But this is big news, I want to get this out to you guys. Okay. Now, so this is saying Section 8G or 8H. To be clear, we have the sole right to decide what conduct violates Section 8G. So that would be scrolling down to 8G, right? Section 8G. We are at Section 8G or Section 8H. What? Random thought. Do these new terms mean video promotion of OGL content such as YouTube coverage is explicitly banned? Video promotion of OGL content is explicitly banned. Paid or otherwise. If we are showing off mechanics over here, my understanding is that, okay, this is my understanding insofar as what I have talked with people who have seen this previously. Number one, to any YouTuber that sees this, what I have heard is that Wizards of the Coast does not give a shit about YouTubers. They're not coming after YouTubers with the clauses that are in here. That's just what I have been told, okay? Number two, TikTokers. You don't use the OGL whenever you make D&D related content. You use what's called the fan content policy. I know that there's been misinformation going around over on TikTok. Just so you all know, you should get familiar with the fan content policy. Unless this OGL 1.1 says that they are dissolving the fan content policy for one reason or another. As far as I know, if you are, you may still be able to make money through the ad revenue or whatever that you're generating over there on TikTok from that shared creator pool. But as far as I know, your bottom line should not be impacted by this, as long as you are still operating under the fan content policy. So if we see some language in here that has changed, it's time to worry. They're already coming after YouTubers. They're using copyright strikes. Can you confirm that with a link? Can you actually give me a link in which that has happened? They're going after Green Ronin and Paizo. Wait, what? Let's make sure that we keep the let's keep the speculation down, okay? We're just getting the document here. You and Covenant and you Covenant and agree that you will not contest any such determination via any suit or other legal action. To the extent necessary and allowed by law, you waive any duty of good faith and fair dealing we would otherwise have in making such determination. Okay, so my understanding is, yeah, so this is what I was thinking, Heavy, right? Why would they make the OGL non-commercial unless they were trying to nuke the fan content policy? It's so weird. It doesn't sound like they're trying to uplift it in here, but like, why would they be creating a separate license that is basically the same goddamn thing? But it's... What? So, okay. My understanding in this is some of this is a little bit of ass coverage in the situation that Wizards of the Coast writes something that it turns out someone in the community had already written. And because WotC was like, well, whoopsie daisy, it was a coincidence. Like, this is like the good faith thing that this is intended to cover, right? Because it was a coincidence, right? Let's say somebody in the community writes a mystic, and then WotC is like, you know what, we want to finally put the mystic out. Cool, we're going to do that. And then someone in the community goes, wait, this thing right here looks real familiar. And WotC goes, okay, yeah, but we're covered under the OGL. Like, we didn't steal it, but we have this. Like, there was a mix, not even a mix-up. It was a coincidence. I'm sorry you might feel that way, but in that case, our ass is still covered under the OGL, right? So they would have that clause right there in place to make sure that, like, they're covered, you know? But for the most part, this reads like, we can swipe your shit, you can't steal, whatever. You've reread it, and they're making it a license violation to review OGL mechanics when talking about books or other materials. You're talking about this right here. You infringe upon or misuse any of our intellectual property, violate any law in relation to your activities under this agreement, or if we determine in our sole discretion that you have violated Section 8G or 8H. To be clear, we have the sole right to decide what conduct violates Section 8G or 8H. And you covenant and agree that you will not contest any such determination via any suit or other legal action to the extent necessary and allowed by law. You waive any duty of good faith and fair dealing we would otherwise have in making any such determination. What? Oh, wait, how are you interpreting that as you can't... wait, they're making it a license violation to review OGL mechanics when talking about books or other materials. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to keep going. B, you breach any other term or condition in this agreement, and that breach is not cured. Wait, this is B.A. We may terminate the agreement immediately if you breach any other term or condition in this agreement, and that breach is not cured within 30 days of our providing you notice of the breach by communicating with you as provided in Section 8A. So they have to get in contact with you if they're like, we're going to break this shit. They have 30 days. We're going to say correct it, or we're going to tell you we're revoking the thing, right? Okay. C, you bring an action challenging our ownership of the licensed content, unlicensed content, or any patent or trademark owned by Wizards of the Coast. So they're going to they may terminate the agreement rather, if you challenge their ownership of the content that you have licensed. So if you say, WotC, you don't actually own the rights to this, I do, they can just go, oh, okay, well, we're pulling the OGL away? Okay. What? I don't see a part where it's talking about severability, waiver jury trial. I was looking for the section where it was talking about, like, what they deem as our sole discretion that you have violated Section 8G. Okay, whatever. I don't want to get super sidetracked by that. You may terminate this agreement at any time by 1, ceasing all distribution of your licensed works, and 2, providing us with written notice. Y'all realize how fucking hard this is for people? Imagine that you are Kobold Press and you have your stuff distributed to Barnes and Noble and all kinds of friendly local game stores all across the nation. All right. And then Wizards of the Coast goes, you know what? No more. And I guess like this is you terminating the agreement here, but ceasing the, yeah, anyways, comments. We know this may come off as strong, but this is important. If you attempt to use the OGL as a basis to release blatantly racist, sexist, homophobic, transphobic, bigoted, or otherwise discriminatory content, or do anything we think triggers these provisions, your content is no longer licensed. To be clear, we want to and always will support creators who are using the OGL to help them explore sensitive subjects in a positive manner, but we will not tolerate materials we consider to be in any way counter to the spirit of D&D. Additionally, you waive any right to sue over our decision on these issues. We're aware that if we somehow stretch our decision of what is or is not objectionable under these clauses too far, we will receive community pushback and bad PR, and we're more than open to being convinced that we made a wrong decision. But nobody gets to use the threat of a lawsuit as an attempt to convince us, upon termination. Okay, the formatting is just throwing me off. Okay. So, this is going to get taken and twisted by right-wing minded individuals here in the content creation sphere. Okay? So, let's talk about what this means. Okay? My big problem with this right now, I agree with the sympathies of what's happening right here. Okay? Ashen Wings Hatcher, the arcane historian, have already gotten cease and desist letters from WotC for leak coverage. Let me see. The arcane historian. I don't know who that is. Ashen Wings Hatcher. Ashen Wings on YouTube? I don't. I see no info corroborating with what you're saying. Cinder Shadow as well. You're saying this, but I'm not seeing anything that's saying. I'm just trying to do ass coverage here real quick. You're saying that they got cease and desisted by Wizards of the Coast because they covered leaks. And I have shown information from this document, and I never got cease and desisted. I dropped the original leak that got the conversation going here, and I never got cease and desisted, whatever. And I'm not seeing any information from these other channels about a cease and desist getting sent to them. So can you see how I'm about to put your ass on a timeout so I can get through this thing without any more interruptions? Cool. All right. We're just going to do that. Hello. Your name is Ransom Salmons. You can chill. Think about your behavior. Cool. All right. Now, by the way, I don't know if any of my mods are up right now. Darren, I don't know if you're going to be in chat or not. Heavy, I just need to mod you, is what I need to do. Yeah. Okay. So, let me talk about this situation right here. All right. So, with these comments right here, this is going to get taken out of context. Okay. Most likely, what I think is going to happen with this, and what I think people are going to point to as how dare WotC think that they have the right to censor whatever, free speech. Okay. My my point on this is going to be there needs to be a defense here. Okay? There needs to be a defense here for this kind of material getting put out there. I don't know that WotC should be the arbiters of justice here, because they have clearly shown to have real poor ethical and moral standards. Like, oh my god. It's really clear that we need to make sure that this kind of content gets pushed back. There's a difference between free speech and speech that damages the owner's IP. Yes. My hang up with this section right here is literally just, you know what? It's just, they are admitting, okay, this is a decision that we are going to be the arbiters of. Absolutely. We're willing to be convinced that we may have made a wrong decision. I'm all down for that idea. Okay. The thing is, I'm just trying to think of a situation in which I'm trying to think of different talking points that people are probably going to bring up about this, okay? I'm pretty much fine with the way that this is phrased in here. My worry is that a situation may come up where WotC simply just does not like a creator, and they don't want them to be making content, and so then they're doing something like, we're just going to revoke your right to create content through this clause right here or whatever, right? What about something like stupid like Fatal that is meant from the ground up to be offensive and crude? If it requires the OGL to operate and WotC's like, yeah, it's time for us to get rid of that, it seems like they're trying to get themselves the breathing room to do that, you know? So, yeah. What's up? You're down to do... Hey, how's it going, Matt Perkins? It sounds like WotC is trying to give themselves a room to do that. So, if you were using the OGL, like people in chat are saying, right? If you were using the OGL, and please remember, people, if your TTRPG does not require the OGL to operate, whatever, if you're not working in the OGL, if you don't require this license, this may not affect you in terms of like your current work or your whatever. I'm just, how do I put this? Be sure that you're informed before you start like going into other communities and kind of spreading some misinformation about like, well, the new OGL is dropped, it's out here now, the whole TTRPG scene is screwed. There are TTRPGs that aren't really super affected by this thing right here, okay? They use their completely own system, whatever. Kids on bikes, all that. So like, let's be sure we stay informed, don't make assumptions. Cool. Shadowrun shouldn't be touched by this at all. If you look at the back of the book, okay, there's a real easy way to tell. If you look at the Pathfinder rulebook, it's like the second or third to last page has the OGL 1.0a there inside of it. Matt Perkins, hey, thanks for the sub, man. You might have covered this earlier, but are you sharing? No. I can't share links to this. No. There's not even a link to it. This is something that was sent to me through an email. Okay. You can see the conversation nuking itself and becomes too political. You avoid talking about the gray zones and let's talk about content treatment. I'm just letting people know. I know some of the conversation points that are going to come up and the way that this is going to get spun out. Okay. So in the event that people are worried about, I can't make content anymore because WotC disagrees with my politics or something like that, that's not really what's happening here. Like, we've seen other stuff brought up. I say like Fatal didn't rely on the OGL. We have seen stuff like the Star Frontiers thing, where WotC owns an IP that is being used to spread white supremacy, right? It sounds like that's what they're trying to cover up right here. They do give themselves pretty much sweeping license to just hit with a big stick, But I just don't really think that that's going to be the case that's going to come up. So this idea that, like, why does WotC have the right to do this or say this or what the hell ever? Chances are they're just not really going to do that. And guys, I'm not really someone that's trying to run defense for WotC right now. You can see a lot of the other videos that are on my channel, I've been super critical on them, okay? So, upon termination of this work, upon termination of this agreement by Wizards of the Coast, you will cease all sales and distribution of your licensed work. Okay, that's pretty hard to rein in. Your obligation to pay royalties survives the termination of the agreement. So do the following provisions. Wait, what? They terminate the agreement, and yet you still owe them royalties on it? They say, no, we're not going to grant you this anymore. And you still got to pay royalties on it because they don't want to hold up their end of the agreement anymore. After you've had to go through the work of stopping distribution, huh? Wow. So do the following provisions, sections 3, 7, and 9 through 11. Okay, jeez. So do the following provisions. Okay. 9, sections 9, sections 3. Okay, we won't move around too far. All right. Indemnity. If you get in legal trouble or get us in legal trouble, here's what will happen. That's kind of vague. A, if we are on the receiving end of any legal claims, fees, expenses, or penalties related to your licensed works, you're responsible for paying all our costs, including attorney's fees, costs of court, and any judgments or settlements. Oh my god. Woo. I mean, I don't know when that's really gonna kick in. I don't know about the situation in which that would happen. Okay, let's say that you decide to make something that uses the IP of something that, like, let's say Nickelodeon or Nintendo or whoever uses, and then they're like, no, screw you, we're going to DMCA this, you don't take it down, and then Nintendo's like, okay, we're going to court, we're also bringing down WotC, okay? So let's say that they do that, and they, I mean, realistically, does that happen? I don't think that this is all that insane. It's just crazy to see it on paper. Because if you are infringing on someone's copyright, let's say like the Pokemon 5e thing, right? Let's just say hypothetically here, okay, that they were selling that. They get in trouble with Nintendo, and Nintendo's like, oh yeah, and wait, oh, you're using the license from WotC? Oh, cool, we're taking them on too. I'm just coming up with a hypothetical, right? I don't need that whole situation dissected. Let's just say that that's what goes on. And WotC has to send someone to court or whatever to represent this. In that situation, you having to pay their legal fees because you did something that got WotC in trouble or had to get them to have to send a representative, I actually see a world in which that's not that crazy, okay? Like, yeah. Recently, the whole thing got brought up since someone mentioned Disney, potentially like Knights of the Old Republic, whatever. There are situations where I don't think that this is all that insane. So, yeah. B, if a claim is raised against you in connection with a licensed work and you aren't defending such a claim to our satisfaction, we have the right but not the obligation to take over the defense of that claim against you. If we do so, you will reimburse us for our costs and expenses related to that defense. If your lawyer seems to suck or you go in and you're like, no, I'm representing myself, WotC's going to basically say, no, fuck you, we're sending in a lawyer and you're paying for it. Okay, I guess. Again, this feels like ass coverage here. We may, at our discretion, seek to intervene in a case brought against you in order to join in the case of these, or in the defense of these claims, while leaving you and your counsel in charge of your own defense. If we do so, we will defend at our own expense and cost. As for our IP, that's ours to defend. You don't have any obligation to defend Dungeons & Dragons IP yourself, and in fact, wouldn't have the legal right to do so. This stuff looked crazy right up here. Right up here. These terms aren't even what? What do you mean? I'm not shilling for WotC. I'm just trying to figure out like what actually is the crazy shit in here. So far, this doesn't. I have heard a lot of crazy shit and been seeing a lot of crazy shit from WotC in the last couple days. Out of everything that I've seen, though, like or heard or whatever, this whole entire section is not really a big damning one. This is all basically sounding like if you get taken to court and we get in trouble because of shit that you did, you're paying for that. Not okay. I don't think that's all that unreasonable. I don't. Other products. Sometimes great minds think alike. We can't and won't cancel products out of fear that they'll be seen as similar to licensed works. Therefore, A, you agree that nothing prohibits us from developing, distributing, selling, or promoting something that is substantially similar to a licensed work. B, you own the new and original content you create. You give us a non-exclusive, perpetual, irrevocable, worldwide, sub-licensable, royalty-free license to use that content for any purpose. Okay. For clarity, nothing contained in this section impacts your agreement that our licensed content, unlicensed content, and anything you are not otherwise expressly authorized to use under the terms of this agreement and any other agreement remains our sole property. For clarity, nothing contained in this section impacts your agreement that our licensed content, unlicensed content, and anything else you are not otherwise expressly allowed or authorized to use under the terms of this agreement remains our sole property. Not otherwise. Okay. Nothing contained in this section impacts your agreement. For clarity, God, why I feel like I've just got fucking poo brain right now. For clarity, nothing contained in this section being, okay, your agreement that our licensed content, unlicensed content, and anything else you are not otherwise expressly authorized to use under the terms of this agreement or any other agreement remains our sole property? Heavy, I feel really stupid here. Is there anybody in here who can explain this to me? Again, I just got done with like an 8 or 9 hour stream. I don't really know what this section is supposed to be here. So basically, fan art for homebrew game worlds could also be a problem since WotC owns it. You view this as saying nothing contained in this section impacts the agreement that their stuff is theirs. You own your stuff, but don't own anything we haven't given you a license for. Basically, you can't lose the right to your own stuff. They just keep it as well. Just means they can use all your shit and the stuff of theirs as you will remain theirs. Okay. Well, I've read it, so I'm not sure. Okay, so you own the new and original content you create. You agree to give us a non-exclusive, perpetual, irrevocable, worldwide, sub-licensable, royalty-free license to use that content for any purpose. So, if you're using the new OGL, and let's say there's a situation like I make a class, and this class happens to be substantially similar to something that Wizards of the Coast puts out. This has happened. And, this has happened to just about every creator I know. That's unacceptable. I could not expect... This is something like that I got a little bit of pushback on because whenever I saw a mechanic that was in an Unearthed Arcana, that I was like, that has never existed in a D&D edition, and then I wrote the mechanic and worked on the engineering, whatever. I worked on the numbers on it in order to get it churning, and it seemed like they put out something that had very substantial numbers, whatever. There is always a situation in that which that was just a coincidence. Okay. I've gotten some flack on that, whatever. It was very, very minor. And I feel like I explained myself pretty well in that. So, in the situation that they do have, this does give them the right to copyright, or to steal your stuff and copy and paste it in their book if they would want to, right? That is what it's giving them the right to do. You got it? It's an overriding statement. If your wording contradicts our claims to your content, we can use this statement to still claim your content. It's an overriding statement. If our wording contradicts our claims to your content, we can use this statement to still claim your content. Oh, so if they mess something up... Wait, is that just a... Wait, what? They're not bound to this if contracts say different. If used under a license and there's sole owners. C is basically trying to clarify that they own your stuff, but you do not own their stuff. Okay. Like, that'd be fine. Yeah, got it. Like, I understand that. They can keep it after they terminate the agreement. Yes. So what is to stop them from canceling your OGL, taking your content, and selling it? I would say public backlash. Kind of what's going on right now. You guys should realize something. This whole story got way fucking bigger than WotC was expecting. Like, I'm telling you, I've been hearing of people telling me about some pretty major news outlets reaching out to, like, independent third-party creators. So, like, this is getting big. And I guarantee you WotC is on panic mode right now. I guarantee you, whenever they get back in the office, what is it, 2 o'clock a.m.? Okay, whenever they get back in the office, here in about 6 or 7 hours, they're going to be freaking the fuck out. Because this OGL is now up online. Because, yo, hey, God, I'm sure that they've just got, like, my face up on a corkboard that they are throwing knives at, I swear. Do I think that we'll get a response today? I have no idea. That would be total speculation. We honestly would predict whoever did the leak. Yeah. So going on from there. To some of the people getting me intel. Hang on. Wait, what? Oh, no. Oh, holy shit, Heavy, you're right. Let me give some real quick, I want to give some, I don't want to call this advice. I want to just make a, suggestion to a fellow content creator that I think is, simply not really in the know. And they should probably be taking down this fucking website immediately, okay? Yo, Blaine Simple, get this shit down. You should get this shit down right now. You are in violation of a couple different copyrights right here, my dude. I'm throwing this out there because I want to look out for other content creators, okay? There are a lot of different IPs that you are currently kind of infringing upon with this project right here. Because of what this OGL is saying, this could get your ass in trouble. You should absolutely be taking this down right now. I promise you, as one content creator to another, I want to look out for you, and I'm not sure if you've really had a whole lot of experience dealing with, yes, these anime IPs, okay? If they find out that there is money in this, which, yes, my dude, watch your ass, cover your ass, okay? I do not want to see or hear about a content creator getting taken into court over all this shit. What's his email to alert him? There are other content creators that I know of that are currently here in the stream. if you're in contact with Blaine Simple, please tell him that he should probably dehost that website right the fuck now before January 13th. Please, please, please. Yeah, woo, man. Okay. So moving on from there. Disclaimer of warranties. Okay, limitations of liability, miscellaneous. Hang on. I'm just skimming real quick. This feels kind of just like in document stuff. No. Ooh, wait. We are not even halfway through it. Just past the halfway mark. Okay. My magical buddies who send me things. Is it worth it for me to back up here and go through earlier parts of the document at this point? We've seen some pretty nasty stuff, but like some of this feels like it's just sort of ass coverage in the case of like some stuff. It's something someone getting taken to court. Yeah. Is this the same OGL as the one leaked on Gizmodo? That's my understanding is yes. Because I will go back and just kind of read through to get us all caught up to this point. This isn't great. Like, trust me, I'm not trying to run defense for WotC here. You all know me better, okay? I'm not trying to run defense for WotC here. I think that all this termination clause stuff, I can see some stuff in here where I'm like, this makes sense in this situation, right? They're just generally trying to watch out for their IP. They don't want to go to court. They don't want to fucking go to court any more than you and me want to, okay? Boilerplate stuff, really, it's not too bad. Yeah, I don't think that this is all that insane right here. And I have been hypercritical on WotC. So if I don't feel like this is all that insane, I just want to hear what a lawyer would say about this stuff. Just kind of my interpretation. Yeah. So let's go back up. And it's all insane. It isn't just new. Worth pointing out that every single person creating content, commercial or non, is required to create an account on D&D Beyond and submit copies of everything to them. Can you tell me a page number that appears on so I can show it here in the document? Or is that... Okay. Yes. All right. Here we go. Page 2. We're going to get through it. This is an email, right? You can download it and share it. I'm not going to do that. You all can see it when it goes public. Hey, yo, remember like a month and a half ago whenever I dropped information from this OGL and like so many people were like, tell me your fucking sources, give me this shit right now. Everyone was so mad at me for a month and a half. Here we are. After all that shit, turns out your boy here was right. I got this and I'm saying I have a source that I believe to be 100% legit on this thing. My dudes, I'm not spreading around anything to appease some random commenter in my chat section right now, all right? Chill. So, what are my options for making D&D related content? If you're going to use SRD content to make tabletop role-playing games and game supplements on a non-commercial bias, the OGL non-commercial applies. If you're going to use the content we make available for third-party use to make tabletop role-playing games and game supplements on a commercial basis, and only want to use material from the SRD, but not other material like the Forgotten Realms setting, the OGL commercial has you covered. If you want to publish work that uses the Forgotten Realms setting or other content not included in the SRD, that's under the Dungeon Masters Guild. Okay, so there is... First time I have actually heard about anything going on with the Dungeon Masters Guild, alright? So, interesting. Fan content policy. Okay. This still exists. This still exists. So let me go through this paragraph real quick, and because there's some information in here I want to go through. What are my options for making D&D related content? If you're going to use SRD content to make tabletop role-playing games and game supplements on a non-commercial basis, the OGL non-commercial applies. That's the big chunk right there. If you're going to use the content we make available for third-party use to make tabletop role-playing games and game supplements on a commercial basis, and only want to use material from the SRD, but not other material like the Forgotten Realms setting, the OGL commercial has you covered. Okay. So basically, you want to use material from the SRD, not Forgotten Realms, any of that stuff that is Wizards IP, you use the OGL. This is basically, as we have understood it, like kind of what we've been operating under so far, except we don't know the exact terms of the license. If you want to publish work that uses the Forgotten Realms setting or other content not included in the SRD, that's under the Dungeon Masters Guild, and what's being referred to right there is the Dungeon Masters Guild's community content agreement, okay? So that is a separate license that is not the SRD. If you want to make use of videos or other content and monetize it via ads, that's going to be covered under the Wizards of the Coast fan content policy. Okay, so I had mentioned earlier video content creators that are on YouTube or TikTok. If you want to monetize the content via ads, right? As in, you are not restricting access to the content, right? Let's keep that in mind. You cannot restrict access to the content in order for people to see it, but you can still monetize it through ads. You can do that through the fan content policy, right? What are the fringe cases in which this applies to, in which someone makes video content? What, like a Driz Jordan, like OnlyFans cosplay kind of thing? Like, I don't know what happens there, all right? So, for the most part, those of you all that are on TikTok that are complaining about, like, the OGL is going to take down all of D&D TikTok, most likely no. The thing that's going to wind up happening is that you all are going to continue under operating on the fan content policy. We're saying the fan content policy covers video content of official content only. If you want to make videos or other content and video and monetize it via ads, it's going to be covered under the Wizards of the Coast fan content policy. Video content covering OGL content is still technically not allowed. How so? That's all covered under the fan content policy, right? Is it because if it's like there's something that I'm doing where I'm showing material from Tasha's, and Tasha's is not SRD. So I show stuff in the video that is mechanics from Tasha's. World Anvil is fine, but a lot of the worlds that are open on World Anvil will have to be closed, turned private. Because they're hosting up Forgotten Realms stuff. Right? Have I found language in here that specifies the 1.0 AOGL is dead? Probably not under those explicit terms right there. Like, it's dead. I just highlighted this. Where was it? It says this is an update to the previous OGL. The fan content policy is not that forgiving. Well, yeah. You're not really... The fan content policy isn't really there for you to make money off of. That's the thing. It says it's no longer authorized, but I was just... Does it say that in the termination clause? Is that what we highlighted earlier? Yes, okay, so this is the closest I've been able to get to so far that was saying, yes, OGL 1.08 is dead. This is something that was leaked, like, yeah. Modification, this agreement is, along with the OGL commercial, an update to the previously available OGL 1.0A, which is no longer an authorized license agreement. Can we highlight that in big scary red? So, which is no longer an authorized license agreement. as many times as people keep saying they can't do this, this is illegal, they can't, this is what I've been saying the whole time. I know that you can say that as much as you would like to. This is what they say that they're doing anyways. So, yeah. So you can talk about D&D, but you can't talk about stuff you made for D&D. Wait, you can talk about D&D, but you can't talk about the stuff you made for D&D. OGL content, FCP only covers content by Wizards of the Coast. So you can't, wait. So you couldn't accept a sponsorship from something like Dungeons & Dragonheim? Because that fucks with Critical Role pretty hard. That, if you were to accept a sponsorship to review something that used the OGL, wait, does this mean that all Pathfinder content is... Wait, what does this mean for Pathfinder video content? Not to mention stuff like the Doctor Who D&D. Well, what does this mean for Pathfinder video content creators? Please don't promote our competitors or endorse... Yeah. This feels like it's way overreaching. I want to have some... I don't want to hear this lawyer over here say one thing, this lawyer over here say another thing. I want a motherfucking Wizards of the Coast representative to explain this shit right here. I want them to explain this, get on goddamn camera, and explain what this means right here. Which line is leading to this conclusion, by the way? The fan content policy apparently stipulates that you can cover Wizards of the Coast content, not OGL content, right? So a lot of us video content creators operate under a license that's called the fan content policy, okay? So if we are making content that is under the fan content policy, under that agreement, we can only cover stuff from Wizards of the Coast, okay? Because of that, we can't cover anything that's on the OGL. The way that this gets over and fucks over Pathfinder is because Pathfinder operates under the OGL. Pathfinder is right now licensed as OGL 1.0A. So technically, everyone out there making Pathfinder videos is operating under the fan content policy of Wizards of the Coast, which sounds like they're going major rug pull on right now. Yep. It's Wizards of the Coast's own policy, the FCP, so by definition it only extends to WotC products. Holy shit. They just fucking nuked Pathfinder YouTubers. Holy shit. Why would they do this? They're going to have hundreds of thousands of people. Like, yeah, I mean, yeah, not only Pathfinder, but I'm just thinking about right now, the biggest one and the most vocal fucking dissidents against Wizards of the Coast. If you ever wanted to give Pathfinder fans a reason to fucking hate you more than they already do, it's this right here. And Call of Cthulhu YouTubers, yeah, I mean, did this just make it to where you can't do fucking actual plays of any other system but D&D if it uses the OGL? Holy fuck. I know a lot of people were like, well, Critical Role is going to go over to a Pathfinder or actual play. Now I see how this is impacting some... Okay. Are we really at that point? Because, like, if that is way, way harsh. Chip, I really don't give a fuck about what... Yeah, dude, I don't care about that opinion, all right? This just majorly fucked over so many people. Yeah, you can't cover COBOL press stuff. You can't apparently take on... Well, wait. Can you take ads? Yeah. No, right? Yeah, this includes YouTubers covering RPGs that use the OGL. This... Video content is not part of the OGL. No, we're not. No. Video content is using the fan content policy, right? According to the fan content policy, you can only cover Wizards of the Coast content. And only stuff that applies under their OGL. There's at least 2 or 3 people I've seen in chat that have legal expertise that I trust that are telling me that I have a correct interpretation of this. I haven't really seen any pushback from people who I know have... That isn't quite right. Can you explain that, Heavy? Because, like, this would be... My conclusion is right, but my explanation is a little bit off. Okay. So, my conclusion is right, and that the big scary thing about that is that Pathfinder and OGL... Like, basically, if something uses OGL, and let's say they reach out... Okay, the fan content policy only covers Wizards of the Coast's IP. Can everyone in chat kind of slow down until Heavy gets through his... Yeah. And I've also got other people hitting me up. Hang on one sec. While Heavy's typing that, let me... I just want to see some things real quick. Okay, so number 1, the FCP only covers Wizards of the Coast IP. 2, coverage of third-party licensed content under the OGL is also subject to that license, very generally speaking. Okay. If the new OGL states only books and PDFs are allowed under it, then videos of OGL content is not. So if this OGL was extended to videos, this OGL not extending to videos and allowing them to cover OGL related content is what's causing this fucking hiccup. So you can still make videos in broad terms. You, I guess, can't make videos covering the OGL content, such as game mechanics. Could be wrong, I'm not a lawyer, but that is my honest read. So that is something that I will toss over to somebody like Legal Kimchi to cover. I don't... So the end seems correct. Basically, it sounds like we've reached the same endpoint. I've reached it from a different road. And possibly a road that wasn't entirely correct. If this is going the way that we're thinking right now, this is extremely sneaky. We can't kill third-party publishers entirely because we want their ideas, but we don't want anyone to talk about them, so we'll make sure that they can't. Why would they do this? I'm just baffled by this decision. So I can cover Cobalt Press, etc. on YouTube. So here's my understanding, okay? My understanding is that they don't exactly want to come after YouTubers. As in, like, they just kind of don't really care. So if I say Wizards of the Coast is most likely not coming after YouTubers with this because they don't really care, but this language still leaves this up to... I still think that there should be a lawyer saying, we should still cover the case of these content. This sounds like this was written by a lawyer that doesn't really understand what the D&D community is really kind of like. You know what I mean? It's just, it sounds cartoonish. It's frustrating how they say content creators when they mean third-party publishers. That is super weird. Oh. Wait, what about the DMs Guild CCA? Heavy, if someone reached out to me for a sponsorship under the DMs Guild CCA, because I've got a sponsorship that's underway right now. I've got to figure out if I need to get that video out like tomorrow. I'll fucking do it all day. You don't know about actual plays? I'll need to ask a real lawyer. Yeah. Okay. So I'll hit someone up about that tomorrow. Okay. DM's Guild said that they would suffer no changes. Well, that's the DM's Guild side maybe, but like I'm thinking about this more as a YouTuber. If a DM's Guild creator reached out to me and they were like, I want to, pay for a sponsorship, and I'm like, cool. I've got a video planned. Let's get you in on that, right? And I have that planned, and then it sounds like this is changing right here. Please scroll through all the contents so IP lawyers have all the included information. We're getting through it. DM's Guild is probably fine. I'm more worried about third-party guys right now. IP lawyers, we'll get there. Yeah. We will get there. DM's Guild is probably fine because it's been fine so far and has nothing to do with the OGL. But what I mean is, if I got sent a sponsorship to do a video, not like a video review, but they sponsored a video, right? So that's under the CCA. If they reach out to me and do that, and I'm publishing a video that's monetized for ads under the fan content policy. Oh, wait. Oh, I can get around this. Yeah, I just don't monetize it. Yeah, they're going to have to pay for the sponsorship. No, I can cover it. Fuck, but that means that, like, Pathfinder content creators can't get paid on YouTube. No, I know it doesn't have anything to do with the OGL. It has... Oh, wait. Okay, I think I see your... Okay, I gotcha. Okay. So if somebody reaches out to me to sponsor a video and it's an OGL thing, I'm like, yeah, here's the thing though. I can't monetize the video, so I've got to up the rate a little bit because I'm going to lose out on any cash on that, or else Wizards of the Coast is going to come after me, right? They might, Will this be up later? Yeah, it should be. I mean, unless WotC strikes it down. It is a change to the FCP. Yeah. There's a couple things in here that are a change to the FCP, but the FCP was operating in a way that it's pretty clear it wasn't intended to allow for. So some of the things are getting cleared up in here. It is affecting Patreon. So you have a theory, no proof that Wizards of the Coast is developing a 3D virtual tabletop with integrated artifact. Oh god, I don't know why so many people are going in on the like AI dungeon master thing. It's funny, but yeah. Uh, it seems that it seems they could strike. It seems they could strike it with or without money. So you might as well keep the monetization turned on. Yeah. Okay. What does the commercial what does the OGL commercial mean for me as a small creator? For most of the community's content creators, those making under $750,000 per year in SRD-based content, the OGL commercial changes very little and is primarily designed to help us simply know you better. Under the OGL, those creators will need to register their commercial content with us so we know what's out there. Tell us a bit about their products and their product sales, and start adding a creator product badge to their materials so that everyone in the community knows they are publishing under the OGL license from Wizards of the Coast. Okay. For most of the community's content creators, those making under the OGL commercial changes very little and is primarily designed to help us simply know you better. Okay. Under the OGL, those creators will need to register their commercial content with us. So we know what's out there. Tell us a bit about their products and their product sales, and start adding a. So wait, here's the thing that sucks. All right, I don't like. I'm gonna leave it as red. I hate this. I hate this part of this so much. Okay. What this tells me right here is that if I want to put something up on my Shopify, okay, I gotta submit it to Wizards of the Coast first. Register their commercial content with us so we know what's out there. So if I register this content with them and they go, yeah, no thanks, I'm just bringing up a hypothetical here because this feels like this is what this is like. Not that this is intended to do, but what this is allowing to do. Okay. Let's say I design a class, I submit it, and I'm like, cool, I would really, really like Mr. Wizards to put this on my Shopify and make some measly pizza money this month. And then they go, oh, well, no, actually, no, we're not good with that. And I'm like, oh, that's too bad. Well, maybe next time then. Thank you, sir. Then I go away and then find out that they are putting the class that I wrote in an Unearthed Arcana or what the hell ever. And they're like, what do people think about this one? And then I go back and I'm like, well, hey, that looks oddly similar to the thing I sent you. And then they're like, oh, you gave us the right to do that. This is to weed out controversial stuff. No, I agree with you. But this whole thing about like, I need to register this product with you and I can't put it up in my store. Or maybe I can. Those creators will need to register their product, their commercial content with us. So we register it, say something about it, add a creator product badge to the materials so that WotC knows what's out there. So it's not saying that we exactly need to do something like wait on approval for it, right? Let's say I register it with them and I go, all right, I'm just going to take it and go on ahead and put it up. Wait. Do they say that they can deny what is registered? They do say that they can break the terms of the license. Are they essentially chipping homebrew, chipping like the tracking chips? They maybe. Register doesn't mean they can restrict or get approval. They have other clauses in here that make me think that they're just kind of giving themselves the room to just go, hey, you know what? We're just pulling the goddamn thing. The 20% we knew was kind of a thing. 20 to 25%. 20% on Kickstarter. This is the stuff that okay, if we see the Kickstarter thing in here, it confirms everything that Linda was saying. It's an attempt to monopolize the tabletop gaming industry. Well, I mean, investors are looking to do that, and I mean, any company is going to be looking for ways and avenues that they can just get a stranglehold on the industry like that. I mean, yeah. It's more covering their ass and revoking content that doesn't match their content policy. I agree, but it's also a little bit sketchy that they're feeling the need to reach that far. So they could get more specific about this, right? I would feel a lot more comfortable if there were something in here explaining what they deem, or rather, what this process is like. And it's just we're just wondering what's out there right now. You send us a copy of it. If we get, it's like, if we start to hear there's an issue with this thing, yeah. Yeah, seems probably glad they moved away from the OGL. Yeah. Okay, now I'm gonna get another drink. Hang on. Okay. Making Dungeons and Dragons is a labor of love for us, but it's also a business. We, like you, want to keep doing what we love and pushing D&D forward. The open game license was always intended to allow the community to help grow D&D and expand it creatively. It wasn't intended to subsidize major competitors, especially now that that PDF is by far the most common form of distribution. So moving forward, hugely successful businesses that generate more than $750,000 of annual revenue will also need to share some of that success with us by paying a royalty of 20 to 25% of the qualifying revenue they make in excess of $750,000. But even for these wildly successful creators, they will not owe anything on sales made before January 1st, 2024, no matter how much money they make in 2023. We're doing it this way so that creators have time to plan for the transition and adjust their business plans accordingly. So, this sounds like a big old crazy number to a lot of us that are living kind of around, I would assume, most of our income levels. This to a business is not a whole lot, okay? This to a big business that is like hiring 20 people? It is the gross revenue. Right, correct. Yeah, Heavy, if you wanted to come on, you're more than welcome. Kickstarter, you can find, okay. Yeah, you want to give me a call? Yo. You should, I think you're muted. Did I mute you? I should not have muted you. Are you there? Uh-oh. Hey, I don't know if you can hear me. Well, I mean, you've been watching my live stream. There we go. I just saw it. Yeah, a mic signal. You alive? You kicking?
All right.
Hey.
Am I there?
Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah. Not much. I'll only be a second. I just want to hop on to talk about this one thing.
Yeah, you're
Am
totally
I live?
good. Oh, you there?
I think so.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So what's going on?
Am I live?
Yeah. Well, you should be on.
Oh, cool. Right. I just want to hop in and just because like this is like what I do for a job.
Yeah.
And people are misunderstanding this 750K or at least not getting the point. Now, like they say they can update the terms of this license. The way I see it, that 750K and that 50K, those are the numbers that they are going to flex right now. They are best guesses.
Yeah.
Like the purpose of the money stuff in here is basically to keep people down. It's to stop. It's, I mean, part of the OGL kind of the licensing itself is to stop another Pathfinder from someone actually,
for sure, yeah,
producing knockoff content, but it's to stop anyone else from getting too big. 750k, like you said, it might sound like a lot, but if you just kind of estimate, and it's clear that they've estimated that, kind of a reasonable profit margin, kind of, after tax and all that stuff, is around the ballpark of 20 to 25%. And that's why that's their best guess, and it's why it's in the license at 20 to 25%. Now, Kickstarter probably got the 20% because they've gone back to Wizards and said, well, anyone funding on Kickstarter, they pay us, is it 5% or 8%? I think it's 5 to 6%.
It was what, John Ritter? Wasn't that the guy's name?
Yeah. He said he got a special deal. I think 8% is actually Patreon these days. I think Kickstarter's 5 or 6. But obviously Kickstarter have gone back to Wizards and said, well, we already take 5% off the top, so
right.
Maybe you can kind of knock that off your cut and still leave them effectively like no marginal profit beyond 750k, and that's the point. They're basically dictating in this way, saying that we will allow you to reach a certain size, but we will not allow you to grow beyond that size.
Yeah.
If they've guessed that gross profit on average across the industry is 20 to 25%, and they've instigated, say it's 20%, and they've instigated 750k as being this threshold beyond which you pay profits, that means that they are, 750 over 5. They are permitting any individual creator 150k's worth of like money in their pocket every year. Anything beyond that, like, we're taking it all. Like, you're allowed that much money. After that, you're not allowed any money. We're having it, and that's the point. Currently, that 750k is kind of their first guess, and the 25% is also their first guess. Anyone having to register, everyone having to register products on D&D Beyond, and everyone over 50k basically having to submit. I think they have to submit sales numbers and also profit. Like, it allows them to infer with a high accuracy, like the profit margin on people's TTRPG products, and it's so that they can flex that percentage, and they can also flex that total amount kind of wherever they see fit. It might go up, it might go down, but the point of that royalty stuff is not to squeeze creators for like a couple of $1 million a year on top of their $1 billion business. They don't care about that. It's to stop anyone else getting big enough to challenge them.
So basically, this is sounding like this is a trap to snap the moment that somebody passes over a certain threshold, and WotC can just go, we are now activating this part of the agreement and adjusting it to where you are now owing us 99% of your revenue. That's their estimate. It's like, we will allow you 150k. We will not allow you to make $500,000 in profit, because take MCDM for example. Like, I'm not exactly sure what their final profit margins are, but you've got to assume it's more than it's more than that much in a year. But they made what, like $3 million off of Flea Mortals or whatever?
Yeah, well, it's the huge thing is it's on revenue. It's not on any sort of profit metric. It's just revenue, and that means that it's irrespective of like staff costs, premises, tax, any of that stuff. So it means you can't scale up your business really beyond a certain size, or it becomes way less efficient to scale up beyond a certain size. So kind of currently what they're saying is, we will allow you as a business to operate. I'm guessing here, kind of. We'll allow you to be about the size of, one person, maybe up to, 2 or 3 people, maybe freelancing another 2 or 3 on top of that.
Right.
Maybe you can squeeze out that much of a living with 150k, 200k if you're exceptional at profit. But we will not permit you to get to the size of 8 to 12 to 15 employees. Because at that point, that is just because you're making so much less profit beyond the 150k.
Right.
Like any additional staff costs, for example, that's all got to get taken out of that first amount of profit.
Yeah.
So
Well, okay. So could you explain something to me, because it sounds like I made it through a section of this, and people in chat were speeding by real quick and explaining something. So I know about the whole like 750. If you hit 750 and $1, there is a thing that kicks in, and you're paying on that $1. So I get that. So chat knows I get that. Can you tell me, is there something that I have gone through that I have a misunderstanding of that situation, or because it seems like
no, that's correct.
Okay, it just seems like people called that out in chat real quick, and I was like, what did I do? Like,
yeah. No, they don't care about the first $750,000 you've made, because I'm just guessing based on that royalty percentage. They have estimated that overall, kind of an efficient competitor in the industry will make a profit margin of 20 to 25%, depending on what platforms they use. Right. So they don't care about your first 750K. They've probably inferred that 750K from what they deem an acceptable amount of annual profit. So they probably started at 150K profit. Gotcha. And just divided it by 20%, divided by 0.2, and that's how they arrived at 750K. And it's that number that they'll be paying attention to, that 150, which is contingent on the profit margin. Again, 20-25% sounds like that. It sounds like a first guess. It's probably based on their profit margin, to be honest. But yeah, that's what will change, and that's what that is there for. That's to stop anyone. Mage Hand Press is probably on the threshold. I'm guessing again. Mage Hand Press might be on the threshold of 150K a year. It's to stop anyone getting bigger than Mage Hand Press. So like MCDM, Ghostfire. I'm trying to think of other companies that make exclusively kind of 5e OGL content. Like obviously Paizo's in trouble if this thing sticks. Like Paizo might be fine. Pathfinder's fucked.
Yeah, I do not see a world in which Pathfinder exists past this new OGL thing. As in, what I mean by that, to everyone in chat, so the retroactive stuff that they may have published, where it's like, okay, this is the Pathfinder core rulebook. Sure, that existing content is probably kind of okay-ish with a question mark and maybe a big-ass asterisk, but them continuously making content for Pathfinder looks like it's going to be pretty rough.
Mm-hmm.
Pathfinder 2 can be revised to non-OGL.
Don't know about that. Maybe. I don't know.
Paizo's best bet right now is probably to get working on a new system.
Yeah. Someone said in your chat, Joseph Browning, I've just caught it, I've just come back to my laptop, says it's very much a rent-seeking decision. I think that's wrong. Rent-seeking would be, they have seen a lot of money on the table in the market and they just want their cut of that money. I don't think that's it. They make so much more money than all third-party creators combined. I don't think they give a shit about the 20% beyond 750K. For all they care, they could throw it in a furnace. They're just there to stop anyone getting big enough to challenge them. Or, I want to say stop another Critical Role. I don't think it's specifically Critical Role, because obviously they help them out a lot as well, but maybe it might be more safe to say they want to stop another Darrington Press if they go ahead and launch a successful competitor.
Yeah, I think that's...
Presumably there would be non-OGL now.
I'm seriously wondering, is it seriously that big? Okay, I know Critical Role is a monster. Do you personally feel that Critical Role is big enough to where if they were to release a TTRPG, it would get big enough to where it would actually rival D&D 5e?
Hard to say. I do think Critical Role. I think Critical Role is a more effective marketing vehicle than anything D&D have got. So they'll start out smaller. I think their potential to grow and like capture an audience through, social media and word of mouth and community and all that stuff is probably, I don't want to say bigger than what Wizards of the Coast has, because they've got all kinds of, marketing dollars to spend. Yeah. But I think it's comparable. And I think they're the only one that's even close. Like, MCDM is not in the same league. Like Cobalt Press, Paizo are not in the same league in terms of like marketability and potential to grow a brand and grow a community.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. I don't want to hijack your stream. I just wanted to hop on and just talk about this royalty thing, because I really don't think it has anything to do with rent seeking. It doesn't have anything to do with wanting a couple of extra pennies for the shareholders. It's about keeping the rest of the market down, and down being kind of whatever size they decide is reasonable, because they can change it at any point.
Yeah, giving up the rights and shit, it was like that was rough, but like I kind of gotten accustomed to that as someone that works on the DM's guild and whatnot. That is like the kind of thing that I'm like, I think I've just seen that so much. I'm suffering from Stockholm syndrome into thinking that that's okay,
Yeah.
But like seeing this, I'm now thinking, oh, this went from like, oh yeah, we're trying to make sure that people that build off of D&D, we want to make sure that we get on bigger projects or whatever. It went from me thinking that was like, okay, maybe I can see why they're a little bit frothing at the mouth and thirsty, to, oh no, okay, this is just strictly anti-competition. I hadn't even considered that.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, because obviously this only applies to OGL content as well. So again, I'll take the example of Mage Hand Press, and it might be wrong. I might be doing them a disservice in saying that 150k kind of in your pocket a year is kind of about where they're at. That's my ballpark. It's the closest guess I can think of.
Right.
But someone like Mage Hand Press, they could conceivably continue to make more profit if they were to release non-OGL content, non-OGL system. So if Mage Hand Press were to release their own system, they could make profit on that system that would add to their allowable profit of 150k under the OGL. But I get the feeling that again, hypothesizing, Mage Hand Press aren't big enough really to have a huge splash hit.
Right.
Going into making their own system, whereas someone like Critical Role, who've made more than 150k, not exactly under the OGL, but they've taken advantage of the D&D brand to a point where they now have their own brand that's capable of springboarding into a real competitor. But if you try and keep everyone down to the scale of Mage Hand Press, you can allow them kind of table scraps, but like anything that Mage Hand Press makes kind of from here on out, touch wood, who can say, like, it's not going to become a real competitor to D&D.
Oh man. Well, okay, so if you were to give one piece of advice to, because I know a lot of people are asking it here right now, if you were to give your own personal advice or just thoughts or whatever to everybody that is, we're talking about, Mage Hand, all that, whatever. What do you think? How would you summarize? I don't know. Let's say my colleague comes to you and he's like, "Dude, what do you think?"
It depends who you're talking to and on their scale. If you're on the scale of Mage Hand Press and you're at that precipice of 750k revenue, I don't think there's any point continuing to create content beyond that.
Yeah.
You can still probably launch one big Kickstarter a year or something, maybe more, because presumably Mage Hand Press's Patreon will also at some point kind of fall under the OGL. So just make that calculation. I mean, it's very obvious, kind of 750k is what they have set as like, this is all it's worth making.
Yeah.
So in their case, I'd say, plan to make you 750k, and aside from that, just focus on other things. I mean, everyone's going to be doing that now, aren't they? Of that scale, everyone's going to be looking into what other systems can they publish for, or what kind of new systems can they self-publish.
Yeah.
As to smaller people, the royalties are never going to touch you. I've heard people saying that, like, they might reduce the revenue threshold down to, they might incrementally bring it down to 500k to 250k to 100k to 50k to 10k. Just to, again, that's kind of a rent-seeking view of what it is. I don't think there's any chance of that. I'd be shocked if it ever went below 500,000. So for most people, the royalties doesn't matter. It's unlikely to, I mean, if it ever matters to me, then, I'll be a pretty rich dude.
Oh, yeah, right.
I think you're probably in the same boat. Like, individual creators, making like more than 500,000 a year, like, honestly, sympathy's limited. You've already made it. Like, shut up.
Well, and considering like, okay, so this goes into effect at the end of this year. I just more so I'm seeing this as it's like you were phrasing it to me. This feels so anti-competition. And
yeah.
I think that, like, sure, businesses, it's like, it's kind of smart to reduce competition. Well, okay, it's very smart to reduce competition, but like, Jesus, it just, this feels like this is in a creative circle like this, whenever you're damaging more creativity from happening, more stories getting told, whatever the hell you want to say, right? However flowery we want to get with that prose, this feels specifically gross because, like, yeah, it's a super super pro capitalist move, but like
dwarf goblins.
Man, oh god, I just realized. Sorry, the Alex Jones fucking alert just played over that. Well,
yeah, small. Again, you asked for advice. Smaller people, I don't think the royalties should even be a concern. Personally, like, I'm not signing up to it for the fact that they can take your shit. And, you know, even if they never would, and I'm sure they will be happily say, you know, in a non-legal place such as a website FAQ, you know, oh, we never would, but like that's not worth the paper it's printed on. Right?
Well, and do you think? I'm just like, if I sign on with this and then seeing what all's going on with one bookshelf, how far off is it that some world where I do all this work to get everything in print on demand and send them something that I license through the OGL, and then WotC and one bookshelf have some kind of stupid disagreement, and then they're like, well, no, you can't actually go through one bookshelf anymore to get your stuff printed, unless it's through the DM's Guild. Then I'm like, oh, well, thanks, I guess. Like, I just lose printing rights or whatever. It's like, I guess you can sell the PDF then? I don't even know.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you know, not legal advice, hashtag.
Yeah.
But like this current license, like I would rather sign up to the CCA. Like,
you say that one more time.
If you, I'm just saying, if you're kind of one of the guys in your server, you know, who's just looking to, you know, just get some homebrew out into the world, you're much better off with the DM's Guild than you are trying to self-publish under this new OGL, in my opinion.
Yes.
Like it's nearly all of the downsides. Yeah, fine. You don't lose that 50%. I mean, you'll still lose the 30% if you publish on drive-through. But like, is it worth that extra 20% in order to basically have zero platforming?
Well,
like people like to say the DM's Guild is a bad deal. I actually don't think it is. Like the 50%, like I don't care. Like 50% of a really big pie is better than 70% of a much smaller pie. But I pivoted away from the DM's Guild because of the rights. And this new OGL has all that stuff in there about, you know, you grant someone else perpetual rights to your content to use however they want. I don't trust it.
Yeah, at this point, if you're looking to publish any further, especially like into one D&D, and you're like, well, okay, I take, like, me and Heavy both have our own websites where we're selling stuff under, right? So if I'm paying hosting fees, server costs, all that other stuff, I'm paying Shopify the, you know, monthly rate, all that stuff, and I'm pulling in.
I estimate for us it's probably around 10%.
Do what?
You know, it's better than. I think for us probably 10%, right?
Yeah.
That's better than one bookshelf's 30%. It's better than DM's Guild's 50%. But you know, don't get stuck on those percentages too much.
Yeah.
You know, like it's very difficult to make your own website and actually drive any amount of traffic to it unless you're already established. It's kind of why everyone does Kickstarter, I suppose.
Well.
Yeah. Anyway, that was all. I don't want to hijack your call for any longer. I just wanted to get that royalties thing out of the way because people get really stuck on the size of the revenue and the purpose of it and whether it's rent seeking and all that. And not. It's about like letting people become pawns, but like no one can get near the king.
Right. Well, yeah, man. Thanks for coming on. And yeah, you're all. Anytime you want to come on, just hit me up. You know you're welcome. So
I appreciate that. Will do. All right. Well, yeah, I'm gonna get back to my day job and keep listening in. So crack on, bro.
All right, man. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Talk later.
See ya. Okay. So, clarification there from Heavy on some of this stuff. I hadn't really thought about the worry and what like the philosophy is behind that. So that would have me worried about companies, like I said, Paizo. If WotC was like, we just want to close you down, them having the flexibility in there to change the terms as they would see fit. So then they're just like, yeah, if you don't like these terms, we're changing the license. If you don't agree to it by January 13th, you're closing up shop. So what if I don't like these terms and don't agree to the OGL commercial? That's fine. It just means that you cannot earn income from any SRD-based D&D content you create on or after January 13th, 2023, and you will need to either operate under the new OGL non-commercial or strike a custom direct deal with Wizards of the Coast for your project. But if you want to publish SRD-based content on or after January 13th, 2023, and commercialize it, your only option is to agree to the OGL commercial. Okay. Oh, come on, Adobe. What do you... Adobe, highlight. Why? Thank you. Yeah, we hate that. We make it red. Okay. Yeah, I hate the condescending tone that's coming across with all this, right? This sounds really, really fucking cunty, all right? Wizards of the Coast is going like, what happens if I don't agree to these terms? That's fine. It just means you can't make money off of it. Fucking, who... This is the kind of snide shit that feels like it belongs on Twitter. What the fuck? Get off here with this. Why is Wizards of the Coast updating to OGL 1.1 and subdividing it to commercial and non-commercial terms? A lot has changed since the old OGL was launched, and that means the old license has some unintended applications we need to fix. Yeah, I mean, collaboratively, okay? Collaboratively, fuck Hasbro. That should just be the rallying cry around this entire week, alright? Just fuck Hasbro. Jesus. Why is it... Oh, hey, what's up, Arcadian? How late is it over here in the States? It is 3:22 a.m. I got done with the 8 to 9 hour stream a couple hours ago. I got this. We're going to make it through this. So, why is Wizards of the Coast updating to OGL 1.1 and subdividing it to commercial and non-commercial terms? A lot has changed since the old OGL was launched, and that means the old license has some unintended applications we need to fix. For example, when we release OGL 1.0a, YouTube, apps, blockchain, crowdfunding, and other now everyday technologies and distribution channels didn't really exist in the way that they do today. OGL wasn't intended to fund major competitors, and it wasn't intended to allow people to make D&D apps, videos, or anything other than printed or printable materials for use while gaming. We're updating the OGL in part to make that very clear. Oh my God. I'll keep reading, but like, why are they so adverse to other people making, like, so they're adverse to other people making just tools for their game. Like, yeah, they're like, well, this was released back before, like, we thought, you know, just technology would take off and be like the thing. And like, they're just saying, well, because this new stuff came about, we're going to change this license that we had originally agreed on. Bye-bye, Celasta. God, I don't know. I feel sick to my stomach for them. Yeah. So, if they're like, well, this was actually helping out our competitors, it was like, no, this was originally created for a game. You all fumbled the fucking ball. Somebody else came in and they were like, yeah, you know what? We kind of liked it as well, but there's a couple other things we'd like to change as well. We're going to develop this other game. Hey, we like this name of Pathfinder. We're going to roll with that, right? Oh, Blue, thank you for the $5. PSA, do not harass or interrogate Paizo staff over OGL 1.1. They cannot comment on advice from Paizo legal staff. No, nobody needs to be getting harassed over this. Nobody should. And that goes for anybody at Wizards of the Coast. This goes for anybody over at Critical Role. Okay? Nobody needs to be getting shit here. Alright? Face it all at Hasbro. You've got... We need to keep them iron focused, alright? We need to keep this, like, iron focused? Laser focused? That's the term? Yeah, alright. Yeah, coffee. Jesus. Okay. So... this is how you guys know I actually do, like, really give a shit about the TTRPG community. Putting myself through hell on this, okay. Now, this whole thing without... Okay. This whole thing with NFTs that they keep mentioning here, I think this may be a fringe case scenario where this is a problem, alright? Are they preventing other people from making NFTs? Or is it just like, yeah, we don't want anybody making D&D NFTs except us? I don't know. I have no idea. That's this whole thing with like NFTs and blockchain and everything that they keep saying in here. The whole reason that this is put on here is straight up just a virtue signal to people that are already against it. Okay, you know that people like look, people like me are very, very, very outspoken against NFTs. I mean, crypto is like, I'm not here for crypto scams and the way that people like, you know, what is it, Jake or Logan Paul, whatever the shit was going down with all that. No. But if crypto is like operating as per like normal, like it did with like Bitcoin and what is it, Ethereum, I'm more so like, look, I'm gonna stay out of it, but that's not as skeezy as what I've seen in the past, okay? But like, including this new wording in here for this is just, it's straight up, guys, this is barely really made to actually address an issue here. If anything, this sounds like this is some kind of like tech bro, paranoid lawyer up at Hasbro that wrote this thing, which makes sense because of the way that a lot of this other stuff is written in here, right? It sounds like somebody that doesn't really, they're not really hyper experienced in writing a lot of these kinds of contracts. Everyone's been criticizing the legalese that's been used in this, and I kind of agree that like the tone and voice it's written in is oddly unprofessional in a way, you know? It does seem like it's written by someone that has some legal experience, but not by someone that I would say should be representing $1 billion company, right? It's odd. Yeah. So, yeah, douchey is the tone. It's written in. Yeah, douchey is the tone it's written in. It's douchey. Yep. Yep. Okay. Additionally, over time, the old OGL incorporated some confusing and even contradictory provisions. Really? Really? I would just like to actually really hear what the contradictory provisions were. I mean, you make mention of it here. I'd like to hear. Yeah. It was also written in fairly dense legal language. So while we're updating it to take into account... So we're updating it because it was confusing. It's like, our bad, this thing that you had existed under in all kinds of different games that gotten developed or whatever. How about this? What if you just say, you know what? If you're using content under the OGL 1.0A, whoop, and this is qualifying for older editions, okay? Let's just say this OGL 1.1 applies to 1 D&D. They're like, we're going to do this moving forward specifically for only 1 D&D, okay? And like any systems in the future. We are future-proofing to fix some stuff about the OGL moving forward. But we recognize that there are quite a few of you that have developed businesses because of the way that the old OGL was operating. Therein, we're going to, rather than can that old OGL, we want to keep that one in place for any content that you all have created, any game systems that currently exist because of the old OGL. And you know what, Watsy? This would be people, in most cases, except for the cases of like maybe Mage Hand Press or whatever, this is helping out people like Paizo. Okay, Paizo, if they're like, you can still operate under 1.0a in the future, whenever we get to 1 D&D, at that point, you need to agree to the new OGL. We won't prevent you from operating with the old one, but if you are going to work with 1 D&D, that's the kind of thing that we're going to need you to, up the license on. Only on that content. That is the most diplomatic thing that they could have done. Instead, we got, no, fuck you, you're our competition, and this is the shit that we're going to do to you. From people who, mind you, didn't even fucking design a lot of the shit that they're trying to come after Paizo for. Yeah. Who can I contact if I don't understand or I need some help? Wait. Yeah, okay. We strongly believe in the power of creativity and the goal of the old OGL and this new OGL revision. I'm sorry, I can't make it past this fucking seriously. Are you kidding, Watsy? If you strongly believe in the power of creativity, you would have created more than one additional class since 2014. If you believed in the power of creativity, you would be monetizing your fucking brand better. Like, I've spoken about this in the past, but like, these motherfuckers are sitting on a gold mine of an IP, and they could be doing some really cool shit in the industry if they actually knew how the fuck to make anything. They can make some books that release to mostly poor critical acclaim, okay? However, Wizards of the Coast, I've said this before, I'm going to keep throwing this out, alright? You need a fucking Pikachu, alright? You need a fucking Pikachu, and you've got one, and you've barely tapped into this whole goddamn market, okay? You have an entire Pokedex that you could have developed out, monetized for kids. You could have absolutely come up with plushies, what the hell ever. You don't have to completely make D&D only target kids. I don't know why I'm giving you this fucking advice, okay? It's just, I don't know why I'm giving you this advice. It's so clearly written on the fucking walls, and you just don't do it. You don't allow your stuff to get monetized out for the mainstream. You keep making all this shit that's exclusive, and you keep pushing out to some of your quote-unquote influencers that happen to be on the inside or have a buddy or what the fuck ever that has 500 followers on Twitter, and so they get put on this fucking list or what the hell ever. They get content that you should be monetizing and selling to the general public, but instead, you keep it all cloak and fucking dagger amongst this little secret group of influencers that you all have been astroturfing into relevance, okay? Like, and this is not to shit on every influencer that gets a box from Watsy or what the hell ever. It's just that there are plenty of people that I think deserve to have someone that they should be talking to at Watsy and aren't getting to hear fucking anything, all right? Pretty clear how this is operating. So, you all, rather than doing the thing of, we're going to keep spending thousands of dollars to keep shooting out all this crap to influencers. Yeah, you know that DM screen that they straight up swiped off of a Etsy shop? That's like a $200 DM screen, okay? I know making all of those things could not have been easy. I'm curious how many of those that they sent out, how much money they spent sending those out to those content creators, how much money they fucking blow every time they do that, like once every 3 months or what the hell ever. That's fucking insane. Absolutely insane. All this shit going on, they have no idea how to manage anything about their outreach to their community. It's fucking unreal. Whenever, I don't want to get too far on that, but yeah, Watsy absolutely could be monetizing this whole thing much better. They just seemingly refuse to make merch or merch that people actually fucking want. They don't target the people who I can go out and spend $10 on D&D merch. I can go out and spend $20 on D&D merch, whatever. No, why the hell do they keep making shit like Mind Flayer Tadpole sex toys? Come on, hell. Why do they keep making stuff that's always like either people just don't fucking want it? Like, okay, vinyl toys, these are cute, all right? We're kind of past this phase though, you know? Realistically, what they could be doing with like, they have a whole monster manual full of all kinds of monsters that people absolutely recognize and adore. They're just not monetizing that asset that they have to like make merchandise in a really, really, really easy way. Oh, here's one. Yeah, whatever, like, fake ass goddamn, like, reject pezzes you all, like, ground up into dust and, like, fused together to make these things. Like, what? I guess it's a stocking stuffer? What the hell ever? I don't know. Sure. And now I have this 10 that I can't. Oh, wait. You know what? This could have been a cool idea if I could have put dice in it. If I could have gotten any more utility out of this than it was used to hold some fucking candy. All right. Yeah, it's a 10 that was used for some like D&D candy potions and everything. I had been trying to actually use it to hold guitar picks or just find any use for it, really. Wasted. Yeah, I think it was like $2, but you know. There are so many different. Yeah, Paizo sells real size Cobalt foam statues. Cool. WotC will send out all kinds of free shit to influencers and will never put it up available for sale. Like the D&D mugs, the coffee mugs, all that other shit that they were sending out to all their influencers. They do that for the people that are on that list right there, and then you never see that product available in any storefront. It's just, I don't know why they do that. Yeah. This is such a frustrating company to be a fan of. I say a fan of. I'm a fan of their system. There we go. I'm a fan of their game, not a fan of the company. It just, yeah. Greg Tito, straight up just not answering any of my emails. Yeah. Okay. Now, so we believe in the power of creativity. We strongly believe in the power of creativity and friendship. Okay, who can I contact if I don't understand something or need help? If you have any questions about what you read in the OGL non-commercial or OGL commercial, please reach out to us at To Be Determined before using or signing either part of the license. That's pretty funny. They wanted to drop this and have people sign it, and they couldn't even determine who it was that was going to be their contact listed here in the thing. A part of me thinks that because I dropped that, they rushed this out to certain creators. I don't know. I mean, that's definitely speculation here. Like, the only thing I have to believe that on is just the fact that this seems so poorly prepared. I would just be really shocked if they did rush this out. I mean, yeah. They believe in the friendship that exists between between coffee, the mug, and me. The preceding material is not part of the OGL 1.1. To access a subdivision of 1.1 that applies to your use of SRD content, click below, and it gives 2 links, it appears. Okay. Oh, buddy, this is us getting into OGL non-commercial, so this is 1.1, okay? If there are, I'll do this. If there are people that would like to take a look and go on ahead and get ahead of it, I'm going to kind of just take a minute, drink some coffee for a second, and just let my throat kind of relax before we go any further. Oh, Jesus. Can you, Adobe, allow me to just click? Okay, I'm going to just go slow. I'll try to. I'm going to look for OGL commercial. And yes, the formatting is not the way that it will appear in the final OGL. The version that's been given to me has been cleaned of identifying materials of the source. Okay, so we got to this point already with the termination clause. Okay, so there are people that want to take screen grabs of that. Go for it. I'm going to be reading through. How long have I been streaming for? About, I guess it's about 11 hours now. Okay. OGL, non-commercial. Oh, wait, was that? Introduction. Oh, this makes more sense. Okay. Okay, so if you stream for 12 hours, you become a wizard. Well, I guess we'll find out. All right. OGL non-commercial. Any non-commercial use of the licensed content defined below is subjected to this agreement. By using licensed content in this manner, you agree to the terms of this agreement. This agreement contains your consent to jurisdiction in Washington State for any disputes between you and us, and your agreement that any such disputes will be resolved in individual litigation heard by a judge rather than a jury. If dispute ever occurs, we hope you agree with us that it's best all around if it's handled quickly, efficiently, and with the least expense possible. Content covered and not. Dungeons & Dragons involves several different categories of content created by the creator, the you, and by Wizards of the Coast and its parent, affiliates, suppliers, and distributors, us or we. Here are the different kinds of content and how they relate to this license. By the way, Mitchell and I don't know, Phil, if you're in here either. If you do see people asking for sources, all that other stuff, feel free to just if you recognize them from the Discord, don't swing the ban hammer, but like, give them just a little spank, like, hey, hush it. If it's not a person that you've ever seen in the chat before, feel free, if they get pretty snide, to go on ahead and swing that ban hammer. Full permission. Yeah. All right. Content covered and not. Different categories of content created by the creator, the you, and by... Yeah. All right. Yeah, just a little tap. Content covered. Usable D&D content, the licensed content. This is Dungeons & Dragons content that is included in the SRD version 5.1, including basic game mechanics and a curated selection of classes, monsters, spells, and items that allow you to make content compatible with Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. Usable content or licensed content. Okay, so this is a term we are defining. This is Dungeons & Dragons content that is included in the SRD version 5.1. Version 5.1. What is the current SRD version? Is it 5.1? Yes. Okay. So it's any content that applies to... Okay, any content that appears over there. 5.1 is correct. Okay, cool. Thank you. Including basic game mechanics and a curated selection of classes, monsters, spells, and items that allow you to make content compatible with Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. Included in the SRD, including
Dwarf goblins,
basic game mechanics, and a curated selection of classes. Okay, I'm guessing that's just the stuff that's in the 5.1. 2CG official. Oh hey, how's it going? Welcome to the channel. Jeez. I'm guessing it's 2C Gaming. Welcome. So not usable. Oh, thank you. Yeah, absolutely. We'll survive. We'll figure this out. Not usable D&D content. Unlicensed content. This is Dungeons and Dragons content that has been or later will be produced as official. That is, released by Wizards of the Coast or any of its predecessors or successors, and is not present in the SRD version 5.1. Unlicensed content includes things like the most famous Dungeons and Dragons monsters, characters, magic spells, and things relating to the various settings used in Dungeons and Dragons official content over the years. What the old open game license referred to as product. Okay, I was really hoping they were going to mention that. Unlicensed content is not covered in this agreement. OGL. No, that's right. Okay, yeah. That's why you had to sign up with the CCA. Yep. Okay. That was all kind of that was all kind of known. And from Arkenforge here, keen to weigh in on how this affects digital content. Oh well, welcome. This is basically the clause that makes it feel like, yeah, you must go through the Dungeon Masters Guild. Yep, I was like, this feels like this is the shit you have to publish under the CCA kind of a thing. Okay. So this is just not usable D&D content. Dungeons and Dragons content that has been or later will be produced as official. That is, released by Wizards of the Coast or any of its predecessors. Let's just say this. This is basically the clause that's saying you can't use the stuff that's not in the SRD. Boom, boom, boom. Right? Cool. Now, your content. These are characters, classes, settings, spells, items, new rules. Your content. These are characters, classes, settings, spells, items, new rules, and other creations that you have crafted. They are your original contributions to the works that you want to sell. This license permits you to combine your content with the licensed content and commercially distribute the resulting works. Neat. You just got here. Is it better or worse or as bad as we thought? I think it's worse. I think it's worse, and this actually sounds like the worst of it that I've hit so far is most likely going to be the Pathfinder community. Yeah, I think Pathfinder content creators got a massive fucking big ol' knife right here. And that I think I went over that about an hour ago. I would also highly recommend that anybody that's out there, even if you're using fan content policy, what the hell ever, if you have content that is out there that is like, let's say, Pokemon in 5th edition, or something that is highly susceptible to a cease and desist. I'm not talking about from Wizards of the Coast. I'm talking about you're adapting an IP that Wizards does not own. I would be real fucking keen to see you guys make sure you cover your asses right now and delete all that offline. Get it off. All right. You want to do the backups. You want to do a weird conversion where it's like, okay, here's a really good example. Okay. Alex Tanner's Incarnate supplement over on the DMs Guild is quite clearly an Avatar adaptation for D&D, right? That is the level of content I would say, or sorry, that is the type of content or adaptation I would say that people should do. You should take something like that and allow yourself to be inspired by the IP to adapt it into something that's a little bit more setting agnostic, or yeah. Super scary too, because if you make a book that and it doesn't get granted its license after we sent it to them, you're gigaboned. Have you guys actually talked with anybody about what might happen if you make something? This is what I've been curious about, and I guess when I'm kind of testing the waters here on with my Sovereign. So let's say this. You release something under the OGL 1.0 literally January 12th, right? You release it then, and then after that date, what happens if you update the thing that you've already sold? Like, you know what I mean? Let's say I release an early access. All right, here's what happened with me. All right, and why I'm thinking about this. I released my Sovereign class as an early access PDF. And since I did that, it's on my storefront. We'd have to amend the license. This is technically a new publication. Seriously? You guys would have to agree to the new You all would have to agree to the new 1.1. So if the old one wouldn't exist, I would have to. We couldn't save it. Fuck me, dude. What constitutes a new product under this OGL is a big question at the moment. Could be argued either way. Okay, so if I have something that I've already had for sale, I can verify that there have been sales of it, right? And then I say, I'm putting out an update to it to address some issues with the mechanics. And then Wizards of the Coast could just be like, cool, you got to update to the 1.1 OGL now. I think Benjamin was right. I think we all got to get our shit out before the 12th. I mentioned a petition for Maychamp Press, but you can't seem to find it. Yes, thank you. Thank you for the reminder. Hey, everybody. Everybody. If you have been tuning in for this stream and you are not aware of this or you have not signed this quite yet, I'm going to go on ahead and Okay. That link will take you to this website right here, Open D&D. This has been created and is being maintained by Maychamp Press. And as I have heard, this actually changed a little bit. As I have heard, 4,051 people have signed it. Fucking cool. If you look on here, hey, guess what? You know who's on here? Where am I? I'm after Eric, I know that much. Yeah, there is. Where was I? Hey, you know what I can always do?
Dwarf goblins.
Hey, look at that, right? You can get your name on here with me and come and hang out, you know? Now, here's the thing. I want to throw out some love here. I think this is probably the best way that we can get our voices heard on this whole issue, okay? So, I strongly believe and know that, like, Maychamp Press has, like, the right hands on their shoulders. I can do dwarf goblins. Oh, shit. Is that still that loud? Uh-oh. Hang on. Oh my god, that was a full fucking blast. That's super funny. Okay. Yes, if you have heard if you have heard anything that I've been saying today and it's had you worried, or you've been a big supporter of the homebrew scene or whatever, it wasn't loud, but it was perfectly timed. Awesome. So glad. Please go to the link that I just provided in chat. Did it not drop? It should have dropped. I'm going to try this again. There you go. And I'm going to pin that up. 324 of you all here. Wow. Well, I'm definitely glad to see the love. Yes, please, everybody. Please go show your support. You want to know how much this means to the goddamn D&D community? The guy who made this, Mike Hollick, was hand entering every single submission all up until a couple of hours ago. From the time that this was released until a couple hours ago, whenever the Maychamp Press people found out a way to, I guess, apparently make it work, Mike was getting emails of every single name and hand entering them on here. Okay? Mike Hollick is like one of their like main designers on here. Okay? This is how much this means to people. So please, if you support third-party creators and would like to see a more open license for all creators out there, do yourselves and Pathfinder fans, whoever is relying on the OGL, all right? This go sign this. Okay. It is so absolutely goddamn cool that we are getting this physical manifestation of an outcry against WotC like this. I'm still scrolling. I am still scrolling. We are making it all the way through this, all right? A year's worth of projects on pause. I had everything, like all of my classes that I was just ready to go print on demand for. And I'm like, I'm supposed to be getting the Alchemist proof tomorrow. And I'm like, man, we got to get this figured out. We will. Okay. What do you put down for company? If you're not with a company, you can leave it blank. Okay. Now. Yeah, kind of at the top. It's around 4K. That's insane. All right. Oh, that's right. I did make more coffee. It's just in the kitchen. Hang on. Let me get more coffee. Here, I'll scroll down a little bit further. Hang on one sec. Also, Taron, what would happen to content that is owned by another company but uses the OGL like Star Wars 5e or Mass Effect 5e? If it uses the OGL, here's the thing. No matter what, no matter who is in possession of the thing, no matter who made the thing, if it is licensed under the OGL 1.0A, it's in jeopardy. That's the thing here. If it's under 1.0A, it's going to be affected. Okay? So if you have a question about like, wow, is this thing going to get affected? If you can check out what it is licensed under, if you have the PDF, Control and F and try and see if you can find Open Game License version or V 1.0A. Okay? If you can find that anywhere in the document, it will be affected. Like, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna get coffee. Hang on. Let me be right back. Hang on. Amanda locked me in here. Do I have a knife? Complicated story. We don't have a doorknob on this door for that doorknob was broken. Didn't want to get stuck in here, and if there was a fire, I just, burned to death. So we took the doorknob off, and now we have a string that's holding this door shut. Keep Amelia out of here. And I guess Amanda put the string on the door. Yeah. Hang on. I'm working on it. I can't go get it yet because hang on. It's a whole long thing. Okay. Now, your content, we just got all that up, right? Works covered. This license only applies to materials you create or use in or as role-playing games and as game supplements, and only as printed media and static electronic files such as EPUBs or PDFs. It does not allow the distribution of any other form of media, and does not apply to creation of anything else. Comments. To be clear, OGL non-commercial only allows for creation of role-playing games. OGL non-commercial only allows for the creation of role-playing games and supplements in printed media in static electronic file formats. Okay. It does not allow for anything else, including but not limited to things like videos, virtual tabletops, or VTT campaigns, computer games, novels, apps, graphic novels, music, songs, dances, and pantomimes. Alright. I have already used this joke, but I gotta fucking say it again, because, like, I don't... Who the fuck pissed off WotC as a mime? A pantomime. What the fuck is a pantomime? Hang on. A dramatic entertainment originating in Roman mime, which performers... It is miming, right? Yes, it is being a fucking mime. What? Who are they calling out? It's a theater production? It's just, that's covering theater production, right? We're talking about plays and shows? Oh, it's just... Oh my god, that's what TikToks are, isn't it? Oh my god, that's exactly what that is. What fucking cosplayer pissed off WotC? What? I'm like... So this is, by pantomime, what they basically mean is like, whatever you say, boomer girl, right? That's a pantomime, right? That's what that is? Some OnlyFans lass is going to do a sexy tiefling and get married, yeah. Are they going to start going after, like, every OnlyFans chick who, like, put on devil horns, and then now they're going to be like, that's a tiefling. Give us money. That's, oh my god. It's mostly because of physical comedy that becomes memeified, like TikTok and that. And what? What? Alright. They're not banning pantomimes. No, yeah. I was just like... I was baffled that that's what that was. Yeah. Wow. That's just so weird. Yeah. You may engage in these activities only to the extent allowed under the Wizards of the Coast fan content policy or separately agreed between you and us. Okay. WotC be pimping OnlyFans. Yeah. License works for a work to be a licensed work under this OGL non-commercial. It must meet all four of the following. 1. It qualifies as a covered works as defined in Section 1B. A. It contains both licensed content and your content. B. It does not contain unlicensed content. And C. It contains the text of this OGL non-commercial within the body of the work. 2. License. If and only if you fully comply with the terms and conditions of this agreement, you may copy, use, modify, and distribute licensed content. So, by licensed content... Okay, so licensed work here. I'm just... For your work and for the work to be licensed, it must qualify as a covered work as defined in Section 1B, which, bam, right here. All right, cool. The license only applies to materials you create or use as role-playing games and as game supplements. Okay, only as EPUBs or PDFs. It does not allow the distribution of any other form of media. So you cannot use the OGL. Say I did create something else. Let's say I created a website, a tool like Dungeon. Okay. Yeah, Dungeon Gen. Let's say I created something like this. Okay. And I know, you know what? I keep pimping out Morkborg for you guys, all right? Look, I really like what these people are doing for the game. Okay. So, would the OGL, if I were to make, let's say, like a monster encounter generator, it doesn't cover that. Or a website like World Anvil. Oh, shit. I was really curious. World Anvil, okay. That makes a lot of sense. I was wondering, World Anvil and I had talked about doing a sponsorship last year, and I was like, oh, they got kind of quiet like around the start of the year. What happened? I didn't put two and two together. That's crazy. Is the Forgotten Realms wiki an official thing, or is that fan handled? The wiki is just publicly available for anyone to update. Forgotten Realms wiki. So this is gonna hit. No, it's fandom. Fandom, insofar as I know, there's nothing on here that looks like it's talking about Wizards of the Coast's copyright. Not that I can tell. Okay. It is worth noting that one of the World Anvil devs has been sick with COVID for the past week. Like main lead to okay. So like a wiki might be okay theoretically. My suggestion is just going to be to anybody who is like worried about, does this affect me? Cover your ass. Like, I'm not going to give legal advice. I'm not going to doomsay. I'm just going to say my best advice to anybody who is worried about, will I be affected by this? Assume that you will and cover your ass. Okay? Best thing to do right now. One of the worst elements is that WotC reserves the right to update this at any time, and if you don't comply, you get wrecked. Yep. Heavy just walked me through his worry about the 750,000 plus thing. That they could just change that thing after you've agreed to it. That's fucking stupid. Yeah, assume your whole ass is exposed in the pickle patch. Good advice for life, really. Yeah, what is it that you're running backwards through a field of dicks? Yeah. Yeah, because, oh boy. Oh. Oh my god. Okay. Let's see. License works. For work to be licensed, we covered that a little bit earlier. It contains both licensed content and your content. Worth keeping in mind. It qualifies as a covered works as defined in Section 1B, which is what we were looking at up there. It does not contain unlicensed content. So this is just basically saying it does not contain Forgotten Realms IP, which seems to be the big thing that they're worried about there. Okay. C, it contains the text of this OGL non-commercial within the body of the work? Really? Is Wizards of the Coast. I mean, what I got sent here is 19 fucking pages. Okay? If you want me to copy the whole, oh my god. You know what? I'm sure it's a little bit better formatted whenever we finally see it, or what the hell ever. It doesn't, but like, 9,000 words you want me to put in every goddamn thing that I use OGL non-commercial in? Jesus. Yeah, damn, pumping up that page count. Yeah, you know what? Wait, you know what's super funny? That would mean that it gets you over the print on demand minimum over on Drive-Thru RPG. Little light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah, there's an 18-page minimum that you have to hit in order to. Hey, that means the Vanguard's gonna make. Oh boy. It was the second primary goal of this new license that Kibbles just brought up, and he thought you'd share here. This new license allows them to pull the 5.1 SRD and replace it with a new one specific to 1D&D, which would force creators in there to move to the new system. Because, you know, the new system so far doesn't appear good enough to be on board, to onboard people organically. Why are they so fucking hellbent on, like... It's like they are forcing everyone to play their game. Like, literally and figuratively. Like, they are obsessed with getting people to play their game. Going off of the stories I heard from the D&D Beyond people that left, WotC sounds like it's just fucking toxic on the inside. They're panicking over their market share because they've been putting out shit content. Well, yeah, I mean, it's... What's their... I wonder if this is gonna... Stock. Where are we sitting at? We haven't opened today in the stock market, right? No. Correct? I think this is... Okay, so we're gonna see. Hasbro right now, what I've got is 64.86 USD. I'm just curious what that's gonna wind up being at the end of this week. I'm just curious. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah. I've seen the MTG shit. Yep. I keep up on a little bit of WotC news as far as, like, you know, what's going on in the Magic the Gathering scene. I'm aware of all the Magic the Gathering 30th anniversary shit. Oh yeah, yep, I'm aware. I also have quite a lot of Magic the Gathering fans in my community. I mean, in fact, one of my moderators did a Magic the Gathering D&D like compatibility thing that's super interesting. You go check it out. It's called five color mana. I think it's just by Phil Kearney over on the DMs Guild. Check it out. He's literally trying to get you a way to use Magic the Gathering cards to play D&D. It's pretty fucking cool. All right. WotC cannot revoke OGL 1.0 on the basis of fraudulent misrepresentation. Well, they're trying to right now. This is just what they're saying we have to adhere to. So, yeah. Now, your coffee cup is no longer broken. Now I'm invested into that story. How the fuck is your coffee cup no longer broken? Did you just glue it back together? That would be less interesting. That's probably what happened, and I'm probably tired. Okay. License. If and only if you fully comply with the terms and conditions of this agreement, you may copy, use, modify, and distribute licensed content around the world as part of licensed works on a non-commercial basis, meaning for free, not in exchange for money or any other thing of value. Really? Huh? Any other thing of value, huh? Interesting. That's gonna fuck up my side hustle for goddamn accepting Coke for D&D products. Promissory estoppel. We'll look it up. Because yes, I saw that from MT Black, and I just kind of skimmed over. Promissory estoppel. Estapel? Within contract law, promissory estoppel? Estoppel? Sure, I don't know, they like their Latin. Promissory estoppel refers to the doctrine that a party may recover on the basis of a promise made when the party's reliance on that promise was reasonable and the party attempting to recover detrimentally relied on the promise. An agreement made by promissory estoppel will typically have the same binding effects on parties that a valid contract would. If a party breaches an obligation created by promissory estoppel, a court can choose to assign either reliance damages or expectation damages. AKA no takesies backsies. It's good to know. It's good to know that that's here. My worry is always going to be that people are going to be like, well, I could fight it in court, or I could just take this thing down that's made me $500 to save me the at least $2,000 I'm going to be spending in legal fees. You know what I mean? It's going to be one of those, I hope I never have to sign a thing. Yeah. Promissory estoppel is not applicable. Why? Because they said that they could revoke the license or change it? Okay, so we have, I am sure we're going to be seeing something from Paizo, or here's the other thing, here's another timeline, okay? Paizo just does their own thing. Paizo comes up with a different system. I mean, we won't speculate on that, but like, there are Paizo peeps who like, they get pretty loud on social media. It would be pretty interesting to watch, see what happens with them over the week. Hang on one sec. Okay. You expect Paizo to come out with Pathfinder 3.0 pretty quickly. Yeah, me too. It's ride or die from Paizo. There's no way they can afford to rebuild everything around this. What do you think? They got this year, and then they've got to have a new system out by 2024? I mean, I don't know that they don't got to, but like, let's be real here. For all intents and purposes, they got to have something out by this next year. God, I mean, ideally they would have had. They'll have it out in 2 days, 3 days. Jesus. License. Why do you think they only gave early adopters 7 days to buy in? A lot of this is not enforceable. It's going to be interesting to see how they try to reasonably state that they weren't fucking holding people hostage over this. Is it more about? It's more about the dev cycle, right? People count towards the money coming in. Schedules based on the schedules. A system getting put together and published like that, they're gonna have to hit up somebody about going off of a core that already exists. And that's gonna be really fucking complicated. I just don't know. Okay. License. If and only if you fully comply with the terms and conditions of this agreement, you may use, modify, and distribute licensed content around the world as a part of the license work on a non-commercial basis, meaning for free and not exchanged for money or anything other of value. We may offer others the ability to use licensed content or unlicensed content under any conditions we choose. You may not transfer your rights and duties under this agreement under any circumstances for any reason. This license is non-sublicensable. Jesus. Yeah, don't worry, Watsy. I wouldn't, like, I don't want to give anyone this more than I want to give them herpes, all right? Like, shit. Comments. As we said in the intro, commercial distribution is any distribution you get paid for in any form. Money, crypto, barter, your brother doing your chores for a week, whatever. What lawyer wrote this? They're like, it almost seems like they're wanting to come off as that, like, yeah, you know, we're still bros. Here's that thing, right? I'm just going to punch you in the dick right now, and we're still buddies, right? I'm just playing with you, man. Here you go. Sign this contract, fucker. Like, I don't get what this is. This is what I mean by this feels very bro-y. I believe somebody referred to it as douchey. And this is douchey. Wait, can we start? Let's do highlights for the douchey stuff in, give me a douchey color. What's the douchey color here? Give me a douchey color. Do they have the law intern right there? Salmon. Is salmon the douchey color? Beige? Green vomit? Salmon? Really? What's your problem with salmon? Salmon? More salmon? Did I miss something on salmon? Your brother do... It does feel very penis-y. We can go with that. You're just thinking of frat boys and polo shirts. I'll take it. Yeah, we'll take it. Where was the other douchey thing? There was like... That's all right. It just means... Oh my god. Where was that? Anyone publishing? Oh god damn it. Where was it? It was so funny. Oh my god, where did it go? Where did it go? What are my options? What if I disagree with the license? That's okay. Oh my god. Who can I contact? Please reach out at... Okay, you know what? This is douchey right here. Please reach out at... To be determined before using or signing either part of the license. Oh, did I pass it? That is so fucking funny. Yes. That's fine. It just means that you can't earn any income. Oh, man. Yeah, all right. The douchey salmon. All right, yeah. Douchey lawyer salmon, we'll call it. Now... There we go. Your brother doing your chores for a week. Oh, man. It does not include donations people give to support your work, as long as they can have access to your work for free if they choose to. And you inform them of that in a clear and obvious way. Wait, what? It does not include donations people give you to support your work, as long as they can have access to your work for free if they choose to. And you inform them of that in a clear and obvious way. Joke's on them, I don't have a brother. Loophole, baby! It allows Patreon, right, but like they had language in here earlier that was like, you can't do this. Where was it? Whenever we're talking about the contradictory stuff, there was language that was in here. Oh shit, where was it? No. Yeah, right here. Accepting subscriptions or membership fees for Patreon patrons as a condition of accessing your work is commercial. Accepting voluntary donations via any tipping mechanism or sites where you're providing your content for free, regardless of those donations/tips, is not. If you're giving your work away for free on Patreon or otherwise, and asking your people to support your work if they enjoy it, that's not commercial. But your work must be given without any strings attached if it's going to be considered non-commercial. No Patreon exclusive stuff under the OGL. So you have to operate... Okay, if you are doing all right, Magdalena. Hey, guess what? Hey, Mitchell, you wanna practice that hammer on somebody? Mitchell, you still in chat? You can absolutely you swing that hammer. Go bam, go bam. You do it. You do it. Oh, I'm about to do it. I've got a hammer and she's looking like a nail. Mitchell said he went to bed. Oh, okay. Well, Magdalena. Whoop. Later. Okay. So, Mitchell's gonna become Thor God of Edit. Yeah. Shit. Where was I? Your brother doing your chores for a week. What a yeah. That the OGL. Yep. Ownership. You agree that we own copyright. Oh, sorry. The reason I banned them, they're spamming the same shit in chat over and over and over again. It's not actually adding to the conversation. In fact, it seems to be misinformation. That's the reason why. All right. Yeah. So, ownership. You agree that we own copyright, trademark, and patent rights. If any, patent rights. Patent rights? To licensed content and the unlicensed content. We reserve all rights not expressly given. Has some motherfucker patented a goddamn PDF? Is this like, I guess in the case of like a subsystem and they're like, yeah, I'm gonna patent that? What the fuck? Clint, you ever heard of this? I've never heard of somebody patenting a goddamn third-party D&D thing. Patent for a method or design? DM screen, I kind of doubt that. The original Black Mage. Hey, welcome, welcome, welcome. And sorry, I haven't been reading stuff off. I know, I've been trying to keep up with all this. Oh, wait, sorry. Somebody asked, is that the OGL? This is not the OGL. This is a version of it I received that has sensitive information removed. You keep seeing people say to get things out before the 13th, but this hasn't really been officially released. It's going to have a few new dates if it does get released. My belief is that the reason why this hasn't gone public right now is because WotC's pulling back. I think WotC's gonna make I've been the bane of your productivity the last couple of weeks. Oh yeah, I'll catch you later. Have a good night. NFT future proofing. Oh, you know what? That okay, maybe in the case that they're like, we're trying to prevent NFTs and shit, and they're worried about like, man, that's super weird. Take a look at this a few months back. What? Fucking heavy. Oh, I love that Heavy's is having a field day with this. RPG Gamers, hey, thank you so much for the $10. Seriously, appreciate that. Thank you so much. I'm sorry. While I've got this going on, I've also got people pinging me like crazy over on Discord. I'm trying to make sure that, like, if those are important pings, I want to make sure I get attention to that. And yeah. Okay. Because if somebody just randomly goes, oh shit, don't scroll to that page, then I want to make sure, yeah. Okay. Identification of licensed content. You must identify in your licensed work which content is licensed content and which content isn't, or is your content, in a way that allows for your reader of your licensed work to understand the distinction without checking any other document. You must identify in your licensed works which content is licensed content and which content is your content, in a way that allows a reader of your licensed work to understand the distinction. Do we just keep typing this shit in there every time? We just go like, I think that this is mostly going to be a thing of like, we release, we keep doing this thing where we have the legalese at the bottom of the publisher page or whatever on DM's Guild stuff that we release. Maybe it's just something that simple, and like we include a reference on the publisher page of like, hey, this includes work from the following books or something like that. This might be that easy. I think this could be that easy. The right to utilize the licensed content as licensed. That is the. Oh, you mean a box of stolen Etsy stuff? Yeah. Yep. I know someone was asking me like, you need to go check your front door because how fucking funny would it be if they just gave all y'all. It's like I open the box and I'm like, oh yeah, nice, thank you, wizards, and it's just a rattlesnake inside. Just I'm expecting WotC to go complete just Joe Exotic on me. All right, comments. You can identify content in any manner you want to, whether that's using a different font or licensed content than your content. Ew, that's gross. Or putting an asterisk next to licensed content and telling readers what those distinctions mean. Okay, so if it's got an asterisk next to official content that appears in the SOD, like let's say I have a class feature. Okay. Distinction means citing to the SRD whenever you use licensed content. Dragonborn, SRD, page 5. Who the fuck? This is gross. That's gross on my layout. As a layout artist, I'm gonna say no, WotC. That looks really bad. That looks not great and not super fun to work with. Dragonborn, SRD, page 5. What? Gross. I mean, Heavy might be happy because it's just more excuses for footnotes. You use for the SRD is something else. Your readers can't tell what's what. We're satisfied, but it's not enough to simply include a statement that your licensed work includes licensed content. Oh, okay. So ignore what I said earlier. Apparently, that's not the full case. You sent my Patreon. Oh no, the integration thing seems to be busted. I'm working on that. I have emailed Patreon about it. What's your username, Michael, over here? Let me know. It is word bloat. That alone's a ban. Yeah. Strix, gotcha. Is it? I don't see your username. I don't see you on my Discord. What? What? That's quite funny. Come from academic writing where you need a footnote inside everything. Can you ping me over on Discord, Michael, and I will get that taken care of. Meantime, licensed work includes licensed content. Did you add me? Hey, there we go. Hey. Wait, I see you. Where are you? You are here. Why is it not letting me look at your freaking name? What? Hang on. Okay, I'll get this fixed for you. Yes. Okay, there we go. Now I got you. Boom. There's all the, enjoy the looking behind the curtain. Okay. And thank you so much for your sponsorship. Okay. Where do we go from here? This guy here isn't as bad as we thought. It's worse. It's worse. Take everything bad that we thought. Add in the fact that WotC's not just coming after. They are coming after video content creators. It went from me I say they're coming after. They are affecting at the very, very least. Very, very least. 8 identification. So this is all part of the OGL that already exists. This is likely why they want people to use PDF, because it makes it easy to edit, or at least easier than a physical book. I don't mind going mostly PDFs, but like, people do want the print books. I don't think we should ever abandon print entirely. Share alike. We are letting you use the licensed content for free because you are using it on a non-commercial basis. If you want to better protect your ownership, you may register the OGL commercial. You agree that others can do the same with your work. This means, A, each time you distribute or otherwise make your work available, you offer the recipient a license to the work on the same terms and conditions granted you under this license. That is non-commercial, correct? That's all non-commercial? Okay. Let printed die? I'm good with it. I like having the physical. Hey, as somebody that is about to get one of my pieces of work in print, and that got one of them in print earlier on this year, it feels pretty damn good. Yeah, feels pretty good. We should not kill print. Don't kill print. Yeah. You may not impose upon others any terms that alter otherwise. Okay. Copy of the license alongside your work. Okay. Version of the license must be this license. Okay. Donations. Your distribution of your work must be non-commercial. This means that you cannot require that anyone give you anything of value in exchange for your work. Copies of your own work. However, you are permitted to accept donations through Patreon, Ko-fi, or other similar platforms, provided that the donations are not a condition or the receipt of your work. Yeah, let's see this. And you make that clear and obvious to your donors. In other words, if you make your work available for free and ask others to contribute what they like to you so that you can continue to do so, you're fine. But if any of your work is available to only to subscribers, patrons, they really couldn't have done like only to fans. Anyways. Or other word for people who give you money for access to it, then your non-free work is subject to the OGL commercial, and all that income is revenue under that license. Let's tear that back down. Jesus. Okay. Is it douchey? Where was the douchiness to it? Is it this? Yeah. YouTube is 100% protected by fair use. Like, maybe, but this document is definitely coming after people. Very douchey. Let's read it one more time. Donations. Your distribution of your work must be non-commercial. This means that you cannot require that anyone give you anything of value in exchange for your work or copies of your work. However, you are permitted to accept donations through Patreon, Ko-Fi, or other similar platforms, provided that the donations are not a condition of the receipt of your work, and you make that clear and obvious to your donors. Boom, we can end it right there, right? That is the big thing. This is the big deal right here. Cool. Patreon's pretty much clean as long as you just make sure that people can get access to it and it's not like paywalled behind anything at all. Fair use has also been a less than stellar shield on YouTube for a while now. Lots of creators still struggle, with egregious claims. Dude, I get music copywritten all the time that's just straight up not the song that they're claiming. Like, and then they're like, oh no, the copyright holder said that it was still valid. Like, what? You can do Patreon as long as you make everything pay what you want. So they're restricting access to... Yep, they are coming after Patreon. You assholes. You assholes. Now they're coming after me. You fucking assholes. This is my bottom fucking dollar right here. Excuse me? You're coming after my goddamn car payment every month. You fucking assholes. Alright, you know what? Fuck around. We can't do Patreon exclusives. We can't offer... Under this, we're not allowed to offer Patreon exclusives? That's... I am going to adhere to what I had offered my Patreon sponsors. I'm going to figure out what needs to be done there. This is only for the non-commercial, though. Well, yes, but the commercial... Oh my god. Okay. The commercial license... Oh my god. Signing up for that thing is going to be a fucking nightmare. Yeah, full shaft, dry stroke, no reach around. Yep. This hits everybody. Okay, I need to stretch. Hang on. Oh, God. Oh, okay. Whew. Yeah, straight pantsless in the pickle patch. Yep. Chaos Meister, thank you so much for subscribing over on Twitch. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You don't even see how this fucking benefits WotC. They're going after fucking pennies here. This doesn't help out anybody. This is just straight up saying that you can't do Patreon exclusives anymore. This... I need to see what this... Oh my god. And again, I swear it's like, I do this, give my interpretation, and then like, someone that's like, I'm a lawyer with 15 years and this guy fucking stupid. Alright, I'm not a lawyer. From what I can tell from this though, this feels like I just got a part of my revenue, a main structure of my revenue, WotC's coming in and they're like, hey, you know what? No. The benefit isn't the money they make, it's shutting down any and everyone that they aren't actively endorsing. It also makes... What was that? Oh, geez. What? Who is that? Balthazar's mysterious... What? I just saw the Patreon pledge. Jesus, thank you. Wow, you rock. Thank you so much. Welcome, welcome. Go grab the Sovereign and the Vanguard. Thank you. You guys keep saying they can't revoke the OGL. They are doing it. They are doing it. This is what they are trying to do. All right. Any of your work is available to only subscribers or patrons or any other word for people who give you money for access to it. No, they're my gremlins. What if I don't refer to them as anything? What if I don't even fucking talk to them? What if I ignore them entirely, but they still give me money every month? I would love that kind of relationship. I don't call them anything. Yeah, they're the silent money void. Oh shit, that's calling them something. Damn it, they got me. Okay. Yeah, my dwarf goblins. No. You're nothing to me. That's the way that we realize that, like, we don't have a parasocial relationship getting built up, all right? This is actually healthy for both of us. Yeah, this is... Look, I get hit by this, all right? So of course, I'm gonna be like, this is some horse shit, all right? Not good stuff. Personally, I get off on negging you. Yes, let me abuse my fans. This donation side of this thing right here. Oh man. I don't know. This is weird. This is literally the structure in which, I mean, D&D content is made. Like, at least for, like, YouTubers. And I don't know of anybody. Oh, Kyle West, thank you so much for the $10. To reading the banner and putting the call to arms on this House of WotC deserves to be vilified for this. Absolutely. Anytime. Anytime. And thank you so much for helping out with that. Honestly, you just bought me a breakfast burrito. Or two. They're pretty cheap. So... This is now affecting me. I am particularly pissed now. I'm also quite tired. And so it just feels like a kind of like, you know that moment whenever like you were kids and you drank nothing but Mountain Dew and ate a whole bunch of like whatever sugary candy, and you got to that point in the night with one of your friends.
Hey, WotC, whom are you going after? WotC, everyone.
Axiom, thanks for the $3, man. Oh. I'm gonna have to coordinate this with everybody that's got Patreons. This is bad. This is, if you like, okay, I have people that have been like subscribed to my Patreon for like 2.5 years now, paying the same thing every single month, and the moment that I like change my tiers or change something about the payment structures, they either up their pledge or they pledge at the same amount, right? They are like instant. I love it. I love being able to make content that people are like, you can't make it, you're going to bed. It's all good. It'll be here tomorrow. All right. This is... This, yeah. WotC has now they're not just drawing their sword on third-party publishers. This is them going after the throats of YouTube content creators. Oh, fuck, this went after MCDM. Oh, shit. And, wow. Griffin Saddlebag. Boy. I just want to cue you all in on something, okay? Griffin Saddlebag has people that are working with him to make the kind of content that he makes, delivering it so consistently as he does. This would fucking wreck about $30,000 a month for him on his Patreon. Yeah, to every content creator out there, guess what? You talking about, you think that YouTube is going to be the adpocalypse. It's right the fuck here. This is bad. Every YouTuber, fucking, I just don't know really what to think about this. I'm so, like, I can keep making content and doing, like, whatever I can. Oh, boy. There we go. Yeah, there are pedantics getting argued in chat that, like, literally don't make a difference. It's literally, like, non-applicable here. You can keep saying they don't. Okay. People, if you keep saying all this shit about, you know what? If you had the legal expertise to get into it, like, if you had the legal expertise to completely dissect this against and contest Hasbro's lawyers, I'm sorry, but I know, you know what? I guarantee you that you would be too busy to be in my live stream chat at 4:52 in the morning. On a Monday morning, nonetheless. I'm going to be skeptical of that info. Dude, everybody's getting fucking slapped with that. Mike Bentley, thank you so much for the $5. New viewer, thank you so much. Welcome. It's a hard week, but yeah, we'll be making it through it, right? It's 11:52 p.m. Jeez. Okay. So, if you're 18 years or older, have a guardian review and agree to them on your behalf. Really? If you have the power, the authority, and the right to enter this agreement. No, but I have the power of Grayskull. Oh my god. Before the obligations. Oh no, wait, yeah, I can't take Roblox bucks for my fucking D&D work anymore. No. They're coming after my Fortnite monies. You will comply with any other requirements we have related in this agreement. Yada 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 yada. I scrolled through most of this. Termination. Yep, we saw this. We read all the way up to 10. Yeah, I've been up for a little while. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense as to why Griffin was so fucking stressed out the other day. I owe you the Vanguard for those. You should be able to go get it. So you can't ask people to give you food in exchange for D&D content. Apparently not. Wait. Holy shit. Wait, Heavy, you know what's super fucking funny? Does this mean that people bringing snacks to D&D night is against this OGL because you are giving them the service of what about, can I charge people to run the game anymore? Like, oh my god. Are they trying to come after pro DMs? Wait, that's in the license? Snacks violate the OGL confirmed. Is paid DMing actually banned? Somebody said it's in the license? Shut up. No to paid DMing? Where would this be? Okay. Here we go. I am at the point where I can definitely tell I am worn the fuck out. You cannot download this right now. You can't download this right now. But I will do you what I can do. I'm going to scroll through. Okay. If you guys want to take a look, this is me giving you the opportunity here. All right. I did a 9-hour design stream earlier. I'm worn out. I did this because I knew like this info needed to get out there. If you've been here for a while, I know that there were 340 maybe of you. That was a big number. Okay. Subscribe if you haven't already. We do a lot of cool shit here. Got a cool community over on Discord. Yes, I do need some sleep. I really do. Review by council waiver. Oh, fuck. We didn't even get here. We will go through this later on today. I'll get it pulled up. God damn, there is so much here. Yeah, oh man, this fucks over Dimension 20, huh? Videos, virtual tabletops. Yep, there we go. They're trying to... well, they're saying that it only allows through the OGL the creation. Are they really going to try to argue that Dimension 20 is in violation of the OGL? Are they going to really try to make that argument? If you guys want to pause and take a look at it, or you're somebody that's watching this in the future, you want to pause and take a look at it, you're welcome to do that. I tried to hang in there. I can't. Yeah, thank you, Eric. Thank you. Waive the right to jury/trial in an update. Oh, I gotta make sure. Hang on. Where was that at? Reducing commercial content. I scrolled past some stuff I just realized. Yeah, okay. Yep. Okay, we got 7 more pages of this. Actually, can we do side by side? Okay. Is that... nope, that's not going to really fit that well on the screen. Is that just super goddamn tiny for you guys? Did I go through page 14, fundraising? No. Is that an important one? Wait, what? Hey, royalties on that last dollar. Okay. Oh my god, they did this. Wait. Hold up. Can we just talk about how fucking lame this is. That they were like, hey, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna reference a character that we included as somebody that made money on publications. Yeah, the author of Throwing... Oh boy. This is... yeah, but like including the Faerun character like as an example that they're using. Blades 2 Electric Boogaloo. Salmon. Cringe salmon. Oh no. Bruner runs the same campaign and includes the same miniatures, but makes them available as add-ons for separate purchase. Because these miniatures are not licensed works and being purchased separately, none of the revenue for... Oh my god, Watsy, why are you making this so fucking complicated? Okay. Here, I've got to get here. Let's do that. I'm sorry. I am really trying to stay up. Okay. You see that? Cool. We're gonna scroll down. You see that? Okay. Gonna make sure the alert box doesn't cover up stuff. Okay. Okay. Hey, if I get sued by Wizards of the Coast, y'all are covering my license and my legal fees for me, right? Yeah. Stop. I'm gonna keep scrolling because I gotta get to bed. I'm literally about to pass out here on stream. I do what I can. Hey, Sirens, how's it going? Okay. Should be good. Other products, yeah. There we go. Other products. Boom. And okay. Oh my god. Look, you know how you can really feel those goddamn 9,000 words? It's to be up at 5 o'clock in the morning scrolling through this goddamn thing. Okay. Did I sign an NDA? Fuck no, I didn't. Are you kidding me? Hell no. Okay. Boop. God damn it, I should have just leaned into that and been like, why should I not have? Why didn't I lean into that? That would have been so damn funny. Okay, so I think with that, you all have seen the OGL 1.1 commercial now. Yeah. NDA Ned.Ancho chill on the burritos. Okay. Now, I am going to take a rest. Yes, I'm going to order breakfast burrito. I don't know. Yeah. Aim at Kickstarters. I have zero idea why they would do that. Are they really going after the like, hey, these guys made $2 million on a Kickstarter? Oh shit, man. There's like $400,000 in that we should probably try and swipe. Huh? What the fuck is this? Get the fuck out of here, Watsy. I don't know. Yeah. So, like, look, you want my opinion on this? All 309 of you that are in here, by the way, you should be subscribed. Why aren't you subscribed? Subscribe now. All right. You should be subscribed. Do that thing. Okay. And, yeah, what do I say here? WotC, Hasbro, whoever it is. This is disgusting. I would like to say I thought higher of you. I would like to say I thought higher of you. But I no longer have confidence in you guys as a company after seeing this shit. Like, I put it past that, like, WotC did things like ignore their content creators, because I was like, they're probably busy, you know? Yeah. I don't know. I'm not running defense for WotC. I'm just saying, like, I don't even know what I would try to say to that. He's not a cool dude. Wait, aren't you the motherfucker that I banned? No, I think. Oh no, wait, I timed you out, right? Oh, guess what? I get to hit you in the face with the fucking ban hammer now. He's not a cool dude. He's a moron. I don't know, dude. You can absolutely fucking suck my dick later, dude. Have a nice life. Yeah, later. Oh man. So somebody got this. Yeah, I went on ahead and smacked him a little bit. Okay, that's it for me. I'm gonna clock out on that one. I'm sure there'll be other YouTube content creators that are gonna cover it as well. Yeah, one D&D. Again, the website for that should be pinned, I want to say. I want to make sure that we get this stuff all covered. Oh, even Tier just put out his leak video. Who's calling me at 5 o'clock in the morning? Burlington, Vermont? Oh, no, you called me at 5 o'clock in the morning and you didn't let me at least riff off you? Keep us updated on the progress of Legacy. Hey, there were like over 100 people in that stream, so yes, I will. Seems like the kind of thing that people want to see. So yeah. Anyways, guys, there's no one streaming right now. I hope you all. Well, wait, there's no one streaming over here on YouTube. Is there? There's no one streaming over here on YouTube. All right, so with that, I'm gonna go to bed. Have a good night. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you, Heavy, for checking in, seeing what's up. Thank you, Clint, for hanging out in chat. All you guys, thank you. We will see you very soon. I'm sure that we are going to hear major news on this whole thing. Anyways, fuck this. Fuck WotC for doing this. That if you want my opinion, there we go. I wish I would have had just like a, I don't know, WotC. You can absolutely suck my cock on this. Seriously, get super fucked.